The third round of the 2022 Formula One World Championship brings us back to Melbourne for the first time since 2019. The abandoned race in 2020 is a thing of forgotten past. Here we go then, back on the streets of Melbourne, and once again it is Charles Leclerc versus Max Verstappen. Welcome back to Australia for round 3 in 2022. It's the first time since 2019 that Formula One is going to race here in Melbourne. And the track looks very different as well. It has changed dramatically in the last 3 years. A whole new section as well down at turn 9. It's designed to prove the drivers once and for all you can race here. And it's the third leg on this fantastic 2022 season as well. Next time out, we are having a sprint race, but that will be at the Emilia-Romagna circuit in Imola. Miami on the 8th of May. The 22nd of May takes us to Spain as well at Barcelona. The Monaco Grand Prix on the 29th of May for a slight break before Azerbaijan on the 12th of June. Canada on the 19th. Then the British Grand Prix at Silverstone the first weekend of July. What better place to have it than at Silverstone on the heart of the British summer. A week later it's Austria before a 2-week break before France and Hungary lead us to the summer break. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form a triple header ending on the 11th of September. Before then we go over for another 2-week break before Singapore on the last weekend of September, first weekend of October. Japan takes us on the 9th, then 2-week break before we hit the States with the American Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, Mexico on the 30th of October, and then the last 2 races in November at Brazil and Abu Dhabi. In terms of the driver standings, Charles Leclerc leads on 45 points. His teammate Carlos Sainz is in second on 33. Max Verstappen got 25 points on the board with win last time out, putting him right ahead of George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes struggling a lot this weekend. Esteban Ocon is ahead of Sergio Perez. Kevin Magnussen, 2 point scoring finishes in a row, put him in 8th. Valtteri Bottas 9th. Lando Norris rounding out the top 10 on 6 points. On the second page, Yuki Tsunoda is on points. Is his teammate Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Guan Yu Zhou, the last of the point scorers. Schumacher, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Albon, Ricciardo and Latifi with no points. Vettel returning this weekend, trying to finally get on the points board. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari lead the way by 30 points, 78 to 38. Massive gap there to Mercedes. Red Bull have only 37 points, they're a point behind Mercedes. Alpine 4th on 16, Haas have 12, Alfa Romeo 9, AlphaTauri 8. McLaren, the last point scorers with only 6 on the board, all from Norris. Hülkenberg, Stroll's teaming of Aston Martin in the first 2 races, scoring no points for them. Williams with Albon Latifi, no points either at the back of the board. The latest chapter in 2022 is about to kick off. A high-speed circuit now at Albert Park. Welcome to the return of the Australian Grand Prix. Hello everyone, welcome to your pre-race show. Thought we'd give you a slightly different angle than normal as well up here in the commentary box, with it being quite early in the morning as well. It's not our traditional pre-race show as well, and quite frankly I like being hands-free every now and then. But welcome up. We've got around about 45 minutes to go until the start of the race. That's at the top of the hour as well. Myself in the commentary box cannot wait for it as well. We're standing by and the cars about to make their way out of the pit lane as well. Reminder, if you're out and about and want to listen to us as well, we'll be on the Mixlr app. That will be on the Ultimate Sports Radio Network, USRN 2, number 2. We will be on there as well. Can't wait to get going with that one later on. So here we are then, back in Melbourne as well. Coming into this weekend after Jeddah, it's a battle now in the championship, very much esteemed, between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. The action got back underway, of course, on Friday with free practice. Let's take a look at the report now. This was filmed slightly earlier. Okay, let's go through then what happened in the first practice session for the Australian Grand Prix. It was Ferrari who once again kicked off the pace, and their weekend in style. The Constructors' Championship leaders of Ferrari as well by 30 points lead the standings as well. Carlos Sainz led 119.806. Charles Leclerc was in P2 as well. Carlos Sainz's time was done on the C5 tyres as well. Leclerc was half a second adrift, but he was running into the gravel trap on his outlap on his second attempt as well. Just down at turn 1, drifted it wide and almost put it into the wall. Further down, Sergio Perez as well was third fastest, caused one of 2 red flags as well when he lost a piece of bodywork down the start-finish straight, and it brought out the red flag, the first one of the weekend. Max Verstappen as well, the reigning champion, set his quicker lap much earlier on in the session. He was 4th, 8/10 down. Lando Norris showing a surprise of return to pace, actually. McLaren back up into 5th position. Danny Ricciardo, his teammate, was down in 8th place. Alpine's Esteban Ocon as well, 6th. A fraction clear of Lewis Hamilton as well in the Mercedes here. Several corners have changed here at Albert Park as well, so Mercedes very much suited to the fast nature of this circuit as well, so they're slowly getting back up the order, but it is suiting McLaren and Alpine incredibly well this weekend. Fernando Alonso was 9th behind Ricciardo in the closing stages. Valtteri Bottas completing out the top 10, which was separated by 1.4 of a second as well. Mighty good, impressive there. AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda making his debut on the track as well. One simulation session before coming out here to Australia as well. He was P11. George Russell was 12th ahead of Vettel, who was 13th as well. He brought out the last red flag of the session as well because his car stopped down at turn 11. He then took a moped from one of the marshals, and after the session was over, rode it on the circuit as well with his no-war helmet, and proceeded to do a little bit of a demonstration to the fans of, look, no hands waving around. It was very much appreciated there going forward as well. And good to see Vettel back after missing 2 races with COVID-19. Pierre Gasly 14th ahead of Zhou Guanyu as well. Tsunoda, Latifi and Schumacher rounded out the top 15. Lance Stroll was 16th fastest. Albon the leading. Williams in 17th. He was 1.2 clear of his second. He's 1.2 seconds clear of his teammate Latifi in 19th. And Haas was with Magnussen was 18th and Schumacher 20th. He was 4.5 seconds off the pace of Sainz's time. Still, Ferrari won 2 as things kicked off here in Melbourne. On to free practice 2 then, and Ferrari continuing their opening pace as well. This time, though, it was Ferrari's Charles Leclerc who was fastest, a 1:18.978 in that first session as well. As the clouds came over the Albert Park circuit as well, the chance of rain rose up. The medium tyre runs came first of all as well, and that was where it was actually Carlos Sainz who finished the session 3rd, was setting the early pace as well, but on the soft C5 tyres, Leclerc went to P1. Verstappen was 2nd with 20 minutes to go in the session as well. He opened up his soft tyre runs. It was compromised as well by traffic, then locked up in Sector 3 before the Dutchman finally managed a more representative lap on worn tyres. He was 2/10 off of Leclerc as well and dropped Sainz down to 3rd place. Fernando Alonso was 4th fastest as well. Alpine really blistering here as well. They've got some great pace. He was only 5/10 off. Sergio Perez rounded out the top 5 as well. Alonso's teammate Esteban Ocon was 6th, 3/10 down though on Alonso's time overall. Valtteri Bottas on the medium compound tyre was strong, but he dropped to 7th for Alfa Romeo as well when the soft tyres were on. He finished ahead of Lando Norris, who was down in the 8th position. Danny Ricciardo rounded out the top 10. His teammate and Pierre Gasly slotted in between in P9. Further down then as well, P11, George Russell again, Lewis Hamilton in 13th position. Yuki Tsunoda slipping between them in P12. Lance Stroll brought out the only red flag of the session when a piece of his Aston Martin wheel cover flew off with 10 minutes remaining. The Canadian finished 14th ahead of the Alfa Romeo rookie of Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu. Magnussen was 16th fastest as well. He struggled on mileage in FP1. Williams duo Albon 17th, Latifi 19th, split by Haas's teammate Schumacher in 18th place as well. Sebastian Vettel's FP1 ended with a rear engine failure as well. New engine power unit put in, not taking a penalty as well, but Seb got no running on the board in free practice 2, so just sat in the pit lane watching on. In fact, Seb's very limited on track time here so far at the new Australia circuit. That was FP2 though. Ferrari once again dominating the Fridays. 1 to Sainz, 1 to Leclerc. On to free practice 3 then, and it was Lando Norris who was the fastest driver in that session as well. That got curtailed by red flags. Let's start off first of all though Lando Norris, the fastest, to 1:19.117 as well. He was ahead of Charles Leclerc in second position as well. Sergio Perez third, Fernando Alonso fourth, Carlos Sainz in top five. But we'll go back around. The news broke on Saturday morning as well that the fourth DRS zone would be removed. That was on the run between turn 8 and turn 10 as well, amid safety concerns. So that was scrapped completely. But still, we managed to keep up with the same similar times we saw yesterday as the track continued to develop and rubber got laid down as well across the board. Most drivers ran this session on the C5, the softest tyre compound, though grip was clearly a premium early on. The session was interrupted though 20 minutes in. FP2 absentee Sebastian Vettel, who was also fined $5,000 for taking a scooter on the track after he stopped in free practice 1. He hit the wall at the exit of turn 10 and brought out a red flag that was retracted with just under 30 minutes of the session to go, so they lost 10 whole minutes of practice time. Max Verstappen P7 then spun at turn 13 on doing a swift medium tyre lap, but times would soon tumble. Ultimately, it was Norris who posted the fastest time, 1:19.117. Charles Leclerc second as well, just a tenth off the time. Norris was, however, too slow, told to slow down with a suspected power unit issue, but it was all okay. No problems there. Perez, as I said, was third, just 16 thousandths off of Charles Leclerc's time as well. Red Bull was down there as well with Perez, and Alonso and Sainz rounded out as well the order. Lance Stroll's crash at turn 11 as well brought the session to a close, and the second red flag at FP3 as well. So that put Lando back on top. Carlos Sainz ran on the top 5, as I said, but then it was Ricciardo in P6, leaving Verstappen 7th, going forward as well. Just before Vettel's crash, Hamilton went P8 to tap the wall but escaped at turn 11, while Russell, who finished P11, seemed to struggle as well with grip and went through the gravel trap down at turn 3 after the red flag came in. Between the Mercedes, Bottas was P9 and Yuki Tsunoda at P10 as well. Tsunoda's teammate Gasly down in 12th position as well. Ocon in 13th. Schumacher checked on Vettel after the crash. He ended up 14th for Haas. Rookie Zhou Guanyu down in 15th position as well. Williams 16th for Albon, 18th for Latifi, and Magnussen was in P17 as well. And then Stroll 19th and Vettel 20th. Both of them, neither of them completing a lap time due to the problems in that session. Okay, let's get straight into it then and take a look at what happened in qualifying. Here's the highlights from a very exciting qualifying, unusually, here in Melbourne. As Lewis Hamilton getting ready in the car as well. The green light is about to go on now, actually. So away we go for the first part of qualifying here in Australia. The green lights are on. The first car's out on the track as well. Comes Kevin Magnussen. And I swear I heard a let's go a signal as well, like a team radio message was coming through. But qualifying is underway. If you're new to the qualifying format and don't know how it works, no worries. We'll explain it to you. Well, there are 3 qualifying sessions. Qualifying 1 is 18 minutes in length. All 20 cars will head out onto the circuit. At the end, we will lose the slowest 5 cars from this session. They'll do positions 16 to 20. Qualifying 2 will take part 8 minutes later and will run for 15 minutes with 15 cars. Once again, at the end, we lose the slowest 5 drivers, so we're left with the top 10 to go through to a final top 10 shootout for 12 minutes. And at the end of that, whoever is on top obviously takes pole position. And for Lewis Hamilton, if he does manage to get pole today, which is very unlikely, it'll be 104 pole positions. He'll have to win the next day as well to make it level, because right now Hamilton is on 103 wins and 103 poles. Big accident. Nicholas Latifi smashes into the wall. My goodness me. Coming out of turn 4 and 5, Nicholas Latifi looking like what happened with Rubens Barrichello back in... remember Rubens Barrichello in 2003? It's exactly the same for Nicholas Latifi, and I was just saying this. The red flag is out. The session is stopped with 2 minutes to go, so there is enough time for us to get a restart and a last lap. Latifi's okay, he's moving around in the car, but a huge accident. The track is covered in debris and everyone having to pick their way through, and that is massive accident. I wonder if he's hit someone. Yes, he's hit Stroll. I don't believe it. Lance Stroll has hit Latifi. Right, Latifi's coming across the track. Stroll's going through. So, it's Latifi and Stroll. Stroll was on a slow lap. Latifi was there too. Latifi goes up the inside. Stroll tries to get out of the way, and they just clip each other. So Latifi goes to the inside to try and get past Stroll, and Stroll just cuts back across him. And that was Stroll's fault there.
Latifi, man, what the is he just doing? He just hit me, man.
No, Lance, that was your fault. You got out of the way, and Latifi went on the inside as well. What on earth was all that about? So all the good work from Aston Martin over the lunch break has now been thrown away as they've now got this. So Latifi was getting out of the way he's got out of the way for Stroll, and he got out of the way for somebody else as well. Stroll then runs alongside him, and then Latifi says, no, I'm going to go through, because Stroll backs off, and Latifi misunderstands it. And away we go for the last 2 minutes of qualifying. It's going to be a very quick lap. The guys have got to get out there straight away in order to make sure. And look at this. Already you can't overtake in the pit lane. We saw Verstappen do that, but this is like a Grand Prix start. Ricciardo leads Albon. Then the two Haas cars. Magnussen ahead of Schumacher. Magnussen goes right round the outside of Albon towards turn 1. Albon's not giving that position up and tries to outbrake them into turn 3. Magnussen goes very deep there as well. Gets through. Schumacher just hanging back. Albon goes off. It's like a Grand Prix out there so far. It's the two AlphaTauris battling with Vettel.
Do you know what? That looked like a Scalextric start, didn't it?
It did.
You know, all of them started together as soon as the light went off. None of this hesitation. They're so eager to get out there, aren't they? Do you think that the weather conditions, because it looks very overcast in Melbourne there, do you think that the weather conditions are playing a part in this?
Definitely. There's a lot of overcast. Track temperature at 29 degrees. Air temperature 23. 57% humidity. Look at that. It looks like it is about to bucketing it down, doesn't it? At the back half of the track. It's gone so dark out there.
Has Beth gone home to Melbourne, or is she in Sydney?
I think she said she was still in Sydney, to be fair. She said there was a lot of flooding as well.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I saw that on the news. It was on ABC News last night.
Ricciardo's under pressure. He's getting passed by Magnussen. So Magnussen's gone through now as well. Magnussen, Ricciardo, Albon. Then it's Schumacher, Ocon. Then I think it's Gasly. Tsunoda, Gasly, Vettel, Zhou, Hamilton, Russell. They've all gone out there. Hamilton and Russell are having to go out as well. The top 7 have stayed in the pit lane. And with 17 seconds to go, are they all going to make it across the line in time? 3, 2, 1. I don't think the two Mercedes are going to make it across the line. They haven't.
Did they have to? No.
They did. Yeah, they did. And I think, has Hamilton gone into the pits? No. So Hamilton and Russell have missed the line. So we better hope no one improves. I think they're mathematically through. But now comes the big charge. The checkered flag is out for the first part of qualifying with this 2-minute section. And now here comes Ricciardo. He's 4 tenths down in the first sector. A little bit of blue smoke ahead of him as well. Can't see a car. Yeah, it's Magnussen ahead of him. So I wonder if there's some oil being dropped there from K-Mag. It's not the first time we've seen him lose hydraulic pressure. It happened in Bahrain and it happened in Saudi. No one's setting good times. Ocon fastest first and second sector, personal best. Same with Gasly.
If you're burning past the rings, sometimes it's due to overfill of the oil.
Yes, and they've restarted the engines as well. Just down to 3 DRS zones now instead of 4. They've counted out the DRS zone on the long sweeping gap between 8 and 9 for a safety concern. Fernando Alonso was very vocal about that in the driver's safety briefing yesterday. It took 2 hours for them to agree that. Yeah, Hamilton didn't make it. Hamilton and Russell missed the flag.
Did anybody just look at the driver tracker just then? As they were going around the back end of the circuit.
2 seconds. Magnussen 17th. He's out of it as well. Ricciardo goes 11th. Albon's eliminated. So that's it. Qualifying is done. Schumacher's in the drop zone. Vettel's going to qualify into it. Both Haas cars are going to be eliminated this way. Gasly goes 10th. And where's Vettel across the line? Yeah, Vettel doesn't. Vettel goes 18th. He can't do it. Well, lack of track time, I suppose, and a new gearbox to test out. It's status quo for the elimination zone. Albon, Magnussen, Vettel, Latifi, Stroll out of the session. Both Williamses, both Aston Martins, and Magnussen in the Haas too. Schumacher goes through by the skin of his teeth as well by 0.031 of a second.
Yeah.
Yes, he has. Albon has stopped on the track. Let's listen.
Are you sure? Stop with the side and switch off.
And this is going to... And Q2 has been delayed. So start of Q2 is delayed.
All leave cancelled in the Williams pits. Thank you. All leave cancelled.
Green light is on then. And with 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this part of qualifying, 15 minutes and 15 cars. The Q2 would have taken a full... Q1 and Q2 would have taken a full hour. So we're running about 15 minutes behind schedule, which isn't great news. 5 seconds left then of qualifying number 2. Drivers in the drop zone. Ocon, Bottas, Zhou, Schumacher, Tsunoda. Gasly's at the top there as well. He's at the risk in P10. Everyone else going through. The team Mercedes could be dropped out as well. Checkered flag is out. It waves for Esteban Ocon, the first car to meet it. He goes up to P8. That puts Gasly out. Bottas goes 12th. He's eliminated in the Alfa Romeo. Gasly's fighting for control, coming through turn 12 and 13. Can he have the power? Can he have the speed? Flat out, down the back straight away now. Is it quick enough? No. No, even more no. Gasly's out of it. Ricciardo's 9th. He's looking good. So it's Zhou, Schumacher, Tsunoda. The times we've got to keep an eye on. Ricciardo's already through. Sainz goes 2nd. 1:18.469. Here comes Ricciardo. Stays P8. 1:19.130. Tsunoda now. Can he get out of this part of qualifying? He's racing to the line. I don't think he can. 13th for Tsunoda, only across the line, I'm afraid. 1:19.924. Guan Yu Zhou 14th,
Lewis
and
just got
Schumacher's
into
out.
the 10th.
Yeah, there you go.
And up into 8th.
So Hamilton improves, and Ocon now gets dropped as Schumacher pits. So it's out. Gasly, Bottas, Tsunoda, Zhou, and Schumacher going through. Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Alonso, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Ricciardo, and Ocon. Big success for Mercedes. Both cars through to Q3 for the first time in a while.
Yeah, because these cars...
Okay, here we go then. The start of the final part of qualifying begins now. 12 minutes, and the green light is on at the end of the pit lane. The top 10 cars head out onto the track then for a sort of super pole session as well. First out there, it looked like one of the Red Bulls. It was Max Verstappen. Then comes Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, and Hamilton as well. Going out there. Alonso, Norris, Russell, Ricciardo, Ocon, the next drivers going through. And if you are on Sky Q or Sky Glass, you can watch highlights of qualifying alongside live action by pressing the red button.
And if you're on YouTube, you can watch highlights of us anytime you like.
That's a good call, actually, yeah. To be fair, we will be on Sky Q in Miami, so you can press that button. Can't wait to see 4K television.
You can have 4K television, but if you press the highlights, how are you going to commentate on the race?
Good point, but I'd rather have 4K telly, to be fair.
Sometimes the boy just does not think.
What I do want to try during the practice session, at least, and because the box will be in here, I can flick backwards and forwards. I want to try the split screen.
Caller, I'm on 9-1.
Do you know the split screen that Sky have got? That's what I want to have for a session.
A split screen?
Split screen.
Oh, you posh people.
I know. Just going through then to the YouTube chat.
I know you're related to the Queen, but you know.
Beth has said as well, genuine Australian learning moment. You should search YouTube for witchy grubs, which are only found down under, usually hiding in bark or dead trees. I think I
Yeah, I've seen
those.
them.
Yeah. Before you ask the answer, yes, we do. Seriously, yes, no
Well,
joke.
I've seen some grubs in trees.
Like sweet chicken with mushroom. I think we've seen that. The humidity is up. Yeah, humidity now at 60%. It's rising dramatically as well. As Verstappen starts lap time. Nice through turn 1 and 2 as well. And that was, yeah, nicely done. And Josh Plays is awake as well. I was hoping there was a red.
Good morning, little Josh.
That was a very loud scream and not needed, considering now they're next door going to have a go at you rather than me. SHG says,
Soundproofing, lad.
It's not that good. I put Gasly qualifying P10 and Bottas P11 as my prediction. Both were just one position off. Josh, yeah, I just woke up and Plays, because you're not been here, the entire channel has gone to the dogs. Hashtag yes. It has been a bit chaotic, this one, to be fair. As they come through, Verstappen's fastest in that first sector. It's a 26.762. Sector 2 coming up now at turn 10. He's faster still. 17.782 as well. So getting faster, getting closer, getting more time on the front, which is great news as well.
Actually, the dogs are asleep.
Yeah, they're not barking yet, which is nice. You might have heard them, not our dogs, across the road's dogs, with the house backs on. You might have heard them in the MotoGP commentary we did. Oh, look, he's locked up. Verstappen locks up down into turn number 13 as well. He lost a lot of time there. This is not going to be good news then. Cross the line comes Verstappen. Provisional pole position is his with a 1:18.399. The first driver into the 1:18s this weekend. Great time there. Here comes Perez to the line. Is he quicker or not? Faster, faster, faster. It's a 1:18.398. It's a thousandths difference. Perez is top. Perez takes provisional pole by 1/1000th of a second. My goodness.
Christian was...
Leclerc. Leclerc's, why is he backed off?
He's just getting space.
He's at Ricciardo through and he's waiting for Sainz.
Yeah. Christian was worried yesterday because of the fact that that Red Bull was too light on the front end, and they couldn't seem to find a way. Well, overnight, some genius has found a way, because look at them now.
And Perez on top, going for his second pole in his row. Ricciardo will send Australia into raptures with a 1:19.032, and they're happy with that. Big smiles at the top of the Melbourne Bridge there. Leclerc 6th, Sainz 7th. They're running together.
Okay.
Nice sunglasses. Your mother would like them.
He's on a lap, but yeah, should be good.
Hamilton's flying now. First sector is a personal best at 27.160. Sector 2 is coming up now. Down at turn 9. Hamilton's on a string of pole positions here. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 as well. He's 0.3 off the pace at the moment. So that string is going to be broken today of pole sitters in Australia. They've all been Sir Lewis Hamilton. At the moment, Leclerc, first sector, is only green. Same for Sainz. No one's improving dramatically out there. Russell, 27.1. Russell's actually going quicker than anybody at the moment. Bar Leclerc did a 28.6 in that first sector. And Alonso, Alonso in the second sector is faster by 0.2 to Perez. Alonso stands a chance of getting pole position here. And I didn't think I'd say that. Megan has just leapt out of bed and is now running to the commentary box as Leclerc is 7th at the moment.
Man, why the f*** I locked up there?
We've got a yellow. We've got a red flag. Someone's hit the wall. It's Alonso! It's Alonso at turn 11! And I collapsed in the commentary box. I don't believe it. And that was crucially before Sainz got to the line. Leclerc takes provisional pole position with a 1:18.239. But it's Fernando Alonso who was fastest in the second sector by over 0.2 of a second. The pole lap would have been his, and he's thrown it away. I don't believe it.
But looking at that, it's just an overrun, isn't it? He's gone on to the. Has he gone on the?
He's gone on the curb and he's dragged him into the gravel.
And
Yeah.
has he gone onto that green artificial grass?
Let's take a look. Coming in wide on the A-trench.
No, just over the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just too fast into the corner. For someone of Alonso's standard.
I lost the hydraulics.
Oh.
I could not change gear.
That explains it. Because I was worried because my daughter would actually kill me for calling Alonso.
It wasn't his fault. Hydraulic pressure went.
It had not to be his fault. Megan has already texted us and said it wasn't his fault.
Wow. And the green light is on at the end of the pit lane, and qualifying 3 resumes. The 2 Mercedes are the first cars out of the pit lane as well, all now desperately trying to get through and trying to get up into at least the top 5. They want to go ahead of Ocon, ideally, don't they? In terms of positions. We had a long red flag. That was a very, very long red flag. The session that was due to finish at 19 minutes past the hour is now going to finish beyond half past. So qualifying would have taken about an hour 40 to complete, which seems absolutely insane at the moment. I've got to get a qualifying. There's only about an hour left until qualifying for Formula E get underway as well.
I've got to look at my TED notebook because I don't know what finishing time I put on this.
Oh dear, you might have to hop back in or away then. Straight after the session.
Any way to get out of this?
As soon as the checker flag goes, hop out the box and go and sort that out.
Onto my Honda. Or Suzuki.
I was going to say, it's more Suzuki scooter, isn't it, to get out of here. I've got a bike behind here, actually, now. Although it is kind of hard to get out now because we sort of jam-packed it in for a bit. And the chain's off it, actually.
It's all right. There's one over there without any wheels.
Yeah, we're really useless with bikes. You can take Bessie.
That's an exercise.
Russell Radio.
Just going very slow.
It was going very slow, says Russell, as well.
His go-kart Bessie is over there.
Wonderful. It's blue as well. Got to get that sorted. The suspension's off a little bit.
It's Alpine blue.
It's Alpine blue, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and Megan's is pink, so that's Alpine pink.
The Princess Coupe, that's alongside the commentary box as well. But I'm loving this newer setup as well. We've got over here. Oh, Magpies. Magpies getting in the way. There's a magpie.
Martin was on about that.
Yeah.
There was about 8 magpies. He'd never seen so many magpies.
What is it? 1 for sorry, 2 for joy, 3 for a boy, 4 for a girl.
8 for a plague of magpies.
Yeah, was it? 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret
never to be told. But
so
there's no 8.
Yeah, there is no 8. Martin's found the magic one.
There is no 8.
Yeah. Martin's found the magic ones.
Tell how many cars were coming past when they went to him yesterday, because if he was counting magpies.
Yeah, they knew there was a problem, wouldn't you? Because they said they always go to it at the wrong time. More cars are coming out though. Perez is in the last sector, but I think Perez is going to have a problem here because Leclerc's coming out on the track, and he's going to get held up with traffic now. So they're all trying to go for their last runs. Track temperature is at 27 degrees.
Humidity's rising as Beth said, look, 61%.
And that means the track's going to get slower. So as she said, so as long as that goes up, it goes back down again.
Not much of a wind.
Yeah, Beth saying as well, I was about to make that ask you joke as well. Well, Chris Metland beat you to it. The journalist as well for Racers. .net as they come through. Perez's first sector time then looking good. I'm just going to take I'm going to make sure I notice. That was Leclerc radio. I'm going to make sure I'm going to notice to Megan that Alonso would have taken pole position, but had a hydraulic failure and crashed. Leclerc gets out of the way for Perez, who's 7,000ths of a second off the pace of Leclerc.
Stop bouncing like a Joey.
I can't. It's Australia. It's making you want to bounce down under. Perez
He's a
looking for
baby
his second.
kangaroo, isn't he?
Perez looking for his second pole position. Russell radio.
So he's getting tight on time now. So Lewis will pick it up.
Yeah, tell Lewis to speed up. Yeah, copy.
Yeah, because look, they're still running together, and Hamilton's towing Russell, and Russell does a 1:31.022. He hasn't actually set a proper decent time yet. If there's a late red flag, the session won't restart, so they run that risk, and you've got to keep up there. Perez looking mega fast as well. Sector 2 is 17.760. That is just about the same time, 7,000s different to what Perez's fastest sector time overall was as well. This is going to be quick for Perez. Is it provisional pole position across the line? No, he's 1,000ths off.
Now.
What?
Lewis will pick it up.
Yeah, tell Lewis to speed up. Yeah,
1,000th.
He's got another run though, so
1:18.240 for Perez. Leclerc 1:18.239. There is 1,000 second between them. I don't believe that. Is Bernie Eccleston back playing with the controls like he did at Reth in '97 when Schumacher, Villeneuve and Frentzen were all a 1:21.072 to the thousandth of a second. And now look at this, 1:18.239, 1:18.234 as well. Dramatically changing sectors, dramatically changing the times. As here comes Lewis Hamilton now with the DRS down the start-finish straight. He's towing his teammate Russell, so Hamilton's time will be slower. 1:19.048, Russell crosses the line. Fourth, 1:19.004. Great time there for Russell.
Oh, there's a message now from Bernie saying you haven't paid your coffee bill.
So still inside the garage.
Yes,
with an issue.
Oh, Sainz is an issue, but he is out on the track now, look, on the driver tracker. This is Lewis down at turn 11. Did he miss the apex? Yes, he did, and he went all four wheels off the track as well, and nearly, did kick up some grass at the exit as well. That was a bit close.
Bernie says if he can pay your coffee bill, he can pay his paper bill.
Across the line comes Verstappen on the C5 tyre. He starts his final run now of qualifying. Oh, actually, he might get another one if he messes this one up as well. So he needs to see what's going to happen as they come through. Sector 1 looking good. Ted?
Leclerc's got a problem. He's not out of the garage, and it's too late now. Is it not? It's too late now.
It is.
Yeah, 1:14.
I did wonder where Leclerc was on the driver tracker. Sainz is out there.
Well, Leclerc's in turn 1 according to this. So, is Leclerc
Where's that from? Oh, yeah, he's out.
Well, hang on a minute. That must be an old message because...
A very old message.
Yeah, because Leclerc and Sainz are out there. Yeah, they're both out on the track. Both Leclerc and Sainz are out on the track, so they're both out there. We saw Leclerc was running slow, so unless Ted's missed something or not, I don't know. Verstappen is down in both sectors. He's doing... Oh, and it gets very wide at the exit. This is a very scruffy lap for Verstappen. As Sainz improves in the second sector, Leclerc must not have an issue because sector 1 was at 26.740. He's gone purple overall. Leclerc going for pole position. Number 11 of his career to match Max Verstappen's pole tally. One now, out of the last corner. Poor sector 1, poor sector 2. What's sector 3 for Verstappen across the line? 1:18.239, the time to beat. He's got pole! 800s quicker, 1:18.154. Here comes across the line for Carlos Sainz. He can't improve, 1:19.408. Leclerc, so Sainz ninth.
Leclerc purple in sector 1, green in sector 2.
Checkered flag. So who's
he's
going to
losing
take
it in sector 2?
Okay, so Hamilton Russell can't complete another time lap. They are
less than half a tenth quicker than you in P5 and 6 at the moment.
So that's Hamilton 6th as well, with Russell P4, Norris 4th, 1:18.703. Leclerc crosses the line and takes pole position by a staggering 0.2 of a second, 1:17.868. Ferrari get yet another pole position. Pole position for Ferrari number 231. Pole position number 11 for Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton, though, is on a faster lap, so that Alpine message was wrong as well. I don't know what screens everyone's looking at today, but it's getting faster and faster and faster. It could at least be third.
I would love to see the Skypad find out what happened in Sector 2 there for Leclerc.
Yeah.
Because if he'd have done purple in all 3 sectors, he'd have been way up.
Mega up. And
on everybody.
Hamilton's 5th. He's a second off the pace of Leclerc, but Hamilton goes ahead of Russell. So Verstappen has backed out on his lap time. He's not doing a fast lap. It is Charles Leclerc who, the championship leader, once again takes pole position.
Is on pole.
P1.
So Charles Leclerc is on pole position for this race. We can't wait to get going as well. Let's cross over then to the commentary box. It's the 2022 Australian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc on pole position. Max Verstappen alongside him as well. And we'll go over now to the commentary box. First though, let's give you a look at what Albert Park looks like now. Let's take a look around the Albert Park circuit here in Melbourne, a 3.295 mile circuit, a total now 14 corners and yes, 4 DRS zones. This circuit been on the calendar now for 25 years. Out of the last corner, open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn 1. Flat out, 8th gear, slam on the brakes all the way down. 3rd gear corner, back on the accelerator now as you'd hurtle round turn 2. 2nd DRS zone open, down to the tight turn number 3. Again, hold 8th gear, slam on the brakes all the way down. 2nd gear corner as well, hold the inside line as well. Into the car park section now. 4 at the exit, ride the curb as well. It helps you through turn 5, flat out. Nice against the barriers before you come down towards turn 6 and 7. Hard on the brakes now, file through nicely. Round now, round the lake, turn 8. Onto the new part, turn 9, flat out section before you rejoin the F1 game. Down towards now turns 9 and 10. Drop down 6th gear corner. A little bit light on the speed. Put a wheel on the grass. You'll be round like a donut teacup. Down now towards turn 13 and 14 again. 8th gear, all the way down 4th gear corner. It's now a 90-degree right-hander in F1 2022. 6th gear, back on the accelerator. Down now, last corners coming up into turn 13. Nicely down, opened up a lot more for overtaking. Last corner the same, turn 14. Flat out, DRS zone 4 open. Run into the line, and that is a lap of the Albert Park circuit here in Melbourne. Here we go then, folks. It's time to light up the action and get ready to go once again. 3 years since the last Australian Grand Prix, we return down under. It's the We Racers 1 Melbourne Australian Grand Prix, and what a title fight we are having. Ferrari back up there finally after so many years away. Red Bull still very much charging at the front after a terrible race in Bahrain. Now, around this 3.28 mile circuit as well, 5.279 kilometres, 58 laps is ahead of us for this Grand Prix as well. 3 DRS zones, 1 got removed. It's a small track, 2.5 metre elevation change. It's flat out racing as well, and from qualifying, it really has changed the dramaticness. 3 turns have been changed in terms of overall configuration, but it's actually turns 9, 10 completely removed to create a fast sweeping flow section, and turn 10 also been reprofiled. It's now a 90-degree right-hander, which we've seen so many cars getting caught up with this weekend. Going down then on the other side, Pirelli's tyre compounds as well. The hard tyre is the C2, the medium tyre is the C3, and the soft tyre is on for the C5. A step down because they thought it just wasn't, the gap between the 2 tyres of the C3 and the C2 wasn't big enough. Here's the starting grid then for the Australian Grand Prix. From back to front, on the back row, row 10, it's Alexander Albon starting 20th. Alongside him is Lance Stroll. Then on row number 9, it's Nicholas Latifi alongside Sebastian Vettel. Row 8, Kevin Magnussen alongside Mick Schumacher. The 7th row of the grid. In 14th position, we'll see Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou Guan Yu, alongside Yuki Tsunoda. Row 6 as well, that will see Valtteri Bottas alongside Pierre Gasly. And then on to the top 5 rows of the grid. Fernando Alonso having a hydraulics failure, no time set in Q3. He's alongside Carlos Sainz, had a problem on the first run. Then on the 4th row of the grid, Esteban Ocon is alongside Daniel Ricciardo. 3rd row of the grid in 6th and 5th, the 2 Mercedes cars, George Russell, then Lewis Hamilton heading. The 2nd row of the grid, that sees Lando Norris alongside Sergio Perez. And the front row of the grid, the 2 championship protagonists, Charles Leclerc on pole position. Alongside him is Max Verstappen. Track temperature is up. It is at 39 degrees. Air temperature is at 26 degrees as well. Alongside me in the commentary box, Megan Birch sitting this race out. But alongside me is Ian Birch. Good morning, Dad. It's 2 minutes to 6 in the morning, and we're already the elevation has been changed up to 11. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's very early in the morning, and hello, Josh and Josh.
Hello.
Can see Josh up there. Hi, Josh.
On the Discord call. Hello. We're all here. I'll get to you in a minute. My driver track is falling off.
The Australian Grand Prix. You know,
it's going to be an excellent one, isn't it? You saw qualifying yesterday. Who do you think is going to win this race?
I think it's going to be Leclerc.
Leclerc, you're going definitely for Leclerc to win.
Unless they hit each other in the first corner. But all I can say is that if Kellyanne's listening to this later on, like 2 or 3 years ago, how long is it?
2020, yeah.
2020,
so 2 years ago,
2 years ago. Kellyanne was there, ready to help us with this, and all got called off at the last minute. Look at the crowd.
The crowd's all here, isn't it? Waiting to see.
Looks like a nice day in Melbourne today. Bit of a mixed day over the yesterday and even the day before. This looks like a
Starters are Sainz, Alonso, Magnussen, Vettel, Stroll and Albon. All other cars are starting on medium.
That's taken Josh Blaze's job, thanks to Danny Ricciardo.
Okay.
15 seconds to the formation lap then as well. The clock will strike 3 in 2, 1 now. And away we go on the formation lap. We've already got further than we did back in 2020. And now the cars will head off on the grid. Lando Norris was a little bit slower there away, wasn't he, from the back. Let's go with the pit stop strategy. A one-stop is the fastest if you pit from lap 17 to 27 and move over to the C2 tyre compound and take that to the end of the race. That is the quickest. A second opportunity as well. Second quickest is a two-stop strategy. That will be C3 tyres. Pit between lap 12 and 17 to the C2 tyres. Take those to either lap 37 or 43.
Hold down on the other car.
And take that to the C3 tyre compound to the end. And the alternate strategy is a two-stopper. Start on the C3 tyres, take that to lap 12 or 17. Then move over to the C2, take that to lap 32 or 38. Then move over to another compound of C2 to the end of the race. The oil pressure leak on Max Verstappen as well that the Red Bull was so worried about seems to be solved. So we can throw down to the pits now with Josh Blaze for a full race update. Good morning to you, Josh, as well. We're all ready to go here in Australia.
Indeed we are. Why did they steal my job anyway?
No idea.
Sainz is on used hards. Schumacher's on used mediums. Vettel's on used hards. And Stroll is on used hards, but they've only got 1 or 2 laps.
So pretty much everyone on brand new tyres, which is good. That's after the Q3 rule got abandoned. If you haven't listened to the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc leads 45 points, Carlos Sainz on 33, Verstappen on 25, Russell 22 and Hamilton on 16. That's the top 5 in the World Championship as well. Neither of the Aston Martin yet to score points. Ferrari have 78 points. They've got a 40-point gap in the championship to Mercedes, who are on 38 points. Red Bull on 37, so they're going to move up some point today. today as well, for that matter. And we just can't wait. The formation lap coming to a close. The cars coming round turn 14 now as well. Previous winners here in Australia. 2019 it was Bottas. 2018 was Vettel. 2017 was Vettel as well. 2016 was Rosberg. And 2015 was Lewis Hamilton. 2015 also the last time the pole sitter won the race as well here in Albert Park. That's an awful long time away. It was right back at the second year of the hybrid energy as well. So you think about how long ago that was and how long ago it is to make errors with your cars as well, as Mercedes have this year. They don't understand what is happening with it as well, as the tail enders begin to line up on the grid. Predictions? How many safety cars are we going to have today, Dad?
2.
Oh, round about normal as they come through. Formation lap will go off. It's 58 laps ahead of us. 2 hours on the clock. The race has to be red flagged. It can be completed within a 3-hour window with a delayed option of a 4th. So basically, sit down, get ready to go. Charles Leclerc already pointing his car towards Max Verstappen. The field doesn't seem very lined up. It's a very higgledy-piggledy grid.
one.
Yeah. Green flag in the back, lights coming on. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5, and in Australia, it's action in Australia. Good start from Leclerc. Verstappen gets a poor getaway. Lando Norris is going to immediately defend from George Russell. Lewis Hamilton is looking round the outside. Lando's going to have to back out of that one. The 2 Mercedes go through. Lewis Hamilton takes 3rd. It's Leclerc, Verstappen, and Hamilton. They've all made it through turn 1 safely, though, which is the important thing, as they hurtle down towards turn 3. Great start already, as Lewis has to defend from Checo Perez into turn 3. Clean start from Leclerc. Lando already trying to go around the outside of Russell, but Danny Ricciardo has made a storming start up into 7th position already, as there's a few sliding there. That's Valtteri Bottas, Zhou Guan Yu getting involved with the 2 Haas cars as well, but Leclerc leads away already with a 7/10 advantage as the field head now to the fast sweeping turn 8 and 9 section.
Yeah, great start, actually. You know, I just feel that it's the first time we've really got away in Australia without any incidents up in the last 10 years. You know,
Yeah.
It's unusual, this.
And side by side already looking on the inside at turn 11. That's never using the opportunity position, but Bottas taking right round the outside and nearly putting a wheel on the grass. I've done that several times in F1 game. It spits you towards the wall. Great reactions from Bottas already as Gasly tries to defend from Alonso. Schumacher's looking to the inside as well. Sonoda having to defend from Carlos Sainz. Sainz had a terrible start. He's defending from everyone as Schumacher goes through. Has Sainz got a problem? He's down to 14th place.
Well,
That's Sonoda. Sorry, Sonoda got on the inside of Bottas down at turn 12.
Sainz has had a few problems over the last few days with his car. It's unusual to see a car drop so much, and we were surprised that he finished 9th in the standings anyway, because of the fact that the Ferrari has been so strong. They're not telling us, are they?
No, they're not.
They're not telling us there is something wrong with that car this weekend.
Sainz had a poor qualifying yesterday. He was held in the garage. We heard Ted say as well on the radio, and we heard it on our radio ourselves, when Charles Leclerc asked where Carlos Sainz was. He was still in the garage, but he was out on the track. The driver track are working full operation as well. The car's beginning to get a little bit more spread out as well. Up 2 places was Hamilton. Up a place was Russell. Gasly moved up 2. Sonoda moved up 2. Schumacher moved up 2. Sainz lost 5 places on the opening lap. Everyone from Magnussen below exactly where they are. But now the top 2 beginning to check out. They have got more race pace compared to the 2 Mercedes teammates as well, as everyone just running the risk of smashing into the wall. And saying that, we've got a yellow flag. So there's a yellow flag somewhere around the circuit. That's why it's Carlos Sainz round.
Sainz.
And he's in the gravel and he's beached it. This will be a safety car for sure.
Completely beached.
Well, Carlos Sainz as well, as I said, putting a wheel on the gravel in that part of the track at turn 11. It's the fastest part. This will have to be a safety car because they've got to bring a digger onto the track. Already, this is disastrous news for Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. That 40-point gap could be now dramatically reduced today. Still no sign of the safety car, but I'm sure Josh will say if there's a safety car anytime soon. It's only a yellow flag at the moment, and Sainz is still beached down there, and that's the fastest part.
My light has conveniently turned yellow.
It's got to be yellow.
Tell them to push me if they can.
So he's kept the engine going, so they can get him out. They can put him in. No sign of the safety car just yet. Let's take a look. So he's going around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, and he just took too much speed in, went through the grass.
Safety car.
Oh, virtual. Thank you, Josh. So it's a virtual safety car, as we see. That was really Sainz's error, wasn't he? He's trying to push too hard. That car just does not look stable all weekend.
I'm in a gravel. What can I do? Tell them to push me if they can.
Oh, how lucky was Bottas as it came right across the front of him there, wasn't it? On the front, and there's the spinning wheels. He's really beached that in that gravel that actually we've got up in the commentary box as well.
If he can find reverse, right, he might just be able to get
Science
out.
radio.
Engine off. Engine off.
No, he's out.
No. That car must have had a problem, actually.
Must have. He was dropping back. He lost fight, yeah.
It was so unusual for the way Ferrari have started the season to drop back so
Safety
much.
car.
Safety car.
Yep, safety car deployed. So they've had to put out the Aston Martin as well because if they need a crane to get that out. So there's the first safety car of the day down already. One prediction already. Let's run through the order then. While we're under this safety car, it's Leclerc leading for Verstappen second. Hamilton is third. Perez fourth. Russell
Engine
fifth.
off. Engine off.
Norris sixth. Ricardo seventh. And Ocon eighth. Race start replay. Great start actually from look at that. Sainz never got going off the line, did he? From the back, I was just looking from ninth. He was stalling away. Great start from Leclerc, defending that. The two Mercedes actually made a great launch as well.
He actually had the car in reverse.
Yeah.
We saw the R on the
Reverse backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Lewis's start. Gets a clean
Lewis
launch.
gets a clean cut through there.
That's Norris didn't know where to go. Then he was in a... Oh, that was a really
That was a bit of
break.
luck, actually.
Yeah.
That was
Sainz
a
in
really
the pit
good.
lane. Well, Stroll is, but Sainz is.
You are correct. Yep, Stroll's in the pits. He's put on hard tyres, I believe, as this is Lando's start. Not great. He's going to get swamped by the two Mercedes as well on the inside line. And Lewis was...
Alonso started on the hards as well. Of the top 10,
Yeah.
he's got a different strategy to everybody else.
And this is Sainz's start. He got a lot of wheel spin. The buy point wasn't right. That's why he lost 5 places.
I thought it must be a clutch problem.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his dashboard now to see if there's anything suggesting.
Went on to used mediums.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh. Was that... this is again, look for Sainz. The rear of the car just never looked
Oh,
stable.
he nearly swiped out the house.
And yeah, that was nearly a big accident there. And if that can happen to one, it can happen to another as well. This is Stroll in the pit lane, and he has put on the used medium compound tyre as well. And that's, well, he was down anyway, 19th place after that penalty.
There was nothing on his steering column, on his steering wheel to actually suggest that we've got a safety car deployed.
Yeah, that's here. We've got it out. So safety car is out instead of the virtual. In case you're just joining us as they come through, Ted's got news.
Ted Kravitz, do come in.
Hello. There you go. Right.
There you are.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more cars into the pits. Actually, both Aston Martins started on the hard tyre. So Lance Stroll also feeling like Carlos Sainz. Perhaps they're not quite right for him. We should underline for Carlos Sainz, none of his problems from qualifying onwards have been his fault. He thought he could have been on the front row with his teammate Charles Leclerc. It was a problem actually starting the car at Ferrari that put him back in ninth in the first place and put him onto that strategy of starting on the hard tyres, trying to go long into the race. No word from Ferrari yet whether there was an additional problem with the car that led to Sainz's slow opening couple of laps. I'll keep on that and let you know.
Cheers, Ted. Let's go to the YouTube chat quick then as well to catch up on what's happening. Vincent says no Sainz. Sainz is lap down. No, Sainz is out, says M. And come on, Perez, help your teammate. Don't get caught by the Mercedes. As Lance Stroll comes into the pit lane again. Oh, beautiful. I know what they've done.
Okay,
that is beautiful.
Now, safety car deployed, so we are staying out.
Now, Lance Stroll,
This incentivizes plan A.
That was beautiful from Aston Martin. Do you know what they've gone and done? They've taken
A chance.
Yeah, because what they've done is they've removed having to stop for the medium compound tyre. There is a rule that you have to use 2 tyre compounds during the race. Aston Martin have taken this opportunity to pit under the safety car, put on a set of the medium compound tyres, do a lap, come back in and put the same hard tyres on you had originally. So now Stroll can just run hard tyres until the end of the race, and he is free to have an alternate strategy.
Yeah, it's very quick thinking that, but will it work? I don't think it will actually.
Have cars stopped on the track? What was that? Was that
No,
freeze?
that was a freeze.
Yeah, okay.
Freezing of the
Pictures.
pictures.
I did wonder for a second.
Oh look,
scooter.
He's got the famous Suzuki scooter.
If that white Suzuki
So Daniel,
scooter,
the hard start did not look that easy. Alonso managed to hold position. Sainz had a poor getaway and then was losing positions and obviously span off in turn 10. When we fit the hard, it's likely to take a few laps to come in.
Okay, understood.
That's Ricardo's radio. Very quick thinking from Aston Martin. That's going to give them in. Ted.
Oh dear, I've got a S in my other name, so hope it doesn't come from me. The one I don't use. Right, well, yeah, no, I mean, the thing from Aston Martin, he wasn't going to lose anything properly. He was already last.
Yes,
so
true.
because it's now a safety car, he can close up to the back. So it's a non-lose situation. I think the only gamble on Stroll's strategy there is whether they think that there's not going to be. Oh, there's a replay for you now.
Yeah, it's Sergio Perez on the start as well in his bad launch.
If you think that Ted sounds a bit strange today, it's because
Okay, there's still a digger in the exit
They've
of turn
climbed this lap.
10.
Thanks, Josh. Let's get going now.
yeah, Ted's got a very, very sore throat. He's been losing his voice. He's tried not to talk to people for the last 16 hours. So
Oh my. Ted is a miracle worker then to get all that done. So safety car coming in this lap. There's no lapped cars, so we don't have to go through that procedure. They'll all bunch up together again and get going. So keep your fingers crossed. This is going to be a lot more fun.
yeah, and if he does lose his voice, you're gonna have to hear Pete, aren't you?
Yeah, Pete the cameraman.
Yeah, become an eye and commentate on his own pictures. You know.
And as well...
Have you ever realised that
what?
anybody who watches Ted's Notebook, that the reason that Pete goes off and does gets the close-up pictures and Ted stands about 30, 40 foot away is so that the people that he's talking about can't actually hear him.
Initial balance limitations on that first couple of laps, Max.
That saved me.
No, just managing a bit high-speed corners, but it's not too bad. Just, yeah, look, we don't be careful.
Right, I just want to tell you quickly as well
Yeah,
that...
copy. Your apex speed through 5 and 12 was lower than Leclerc, so keep that up.
Okay, just want to tell you as well that at the moment, the rule that... Oh, yeah.
So just a reminder, once Leclerc does let the safety car pull ahead, we have got the new rules of engagement.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. The problem is, you are now not allowed to drive up alongside. Niels Wittich, the race director, has denied Verstappen doing that because it was so dangerous back in Saudi Arabia.
It was always been a tactic for Max, and it's just to intimidate the guy in front. And you use any little trick you can.
Coming, yeah.
To, you know...
Green flag's out, safety car restart.
There we go.
Leclerc hits the gas, coming out of the last corner, turn 14. No overtaking to the start-finish line, and we are back to green flag running here in Australia. And Max Verstappen is looking very racy indeed. He's trying to pull down the inside line to Charles Leclerc, but Leclerc has the lead into one. Then it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Gasly, Alonso, the top 10 at the moment. And now the field bunched back together again after 3 laps of open running. It did spread the field up a little bit, but now a rolling restart, exactly what we need. We're back to green here in Australia as they hurtle down towards turn 3 as well. No one making a move just yet, but it's still early days. Remember, first stop opportunity is either lap 12 or lap 17. So we've got to see some different strategies in this race. Pirelli, with their step softer compound, trying to antagonise more 2 stops. And with the 18-inch tyres, we are getting more than 1 stop in a race.
It was interesting there to see that the car that has had the least porpoising over the previous races, as he put there it was again. If you look at the rear wings of all of them, right, the Ferrari this weekend is really suffering from porpoising, which it hasn't in the previous races. I don't understand it, and I don't think they do either.
No, they don't. It's been actually okay for the Mercedes, but Ferrari have had more of it this weekend, so they've completely flipped. And it's
nobody's
nice
been as stable with the porpoising as the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls seem, with the genius of a certain person, seems to have got it right. If I was the other teams, I would be concentrating on trying to actually figure out just exactly what he got right. And Ferrari seemed to have gone round a different thing. They did test a new floor, and
it worked a little bit, didn't it? Not a lot, but it kept up.
It's in the direction that they wanted, but it seems to have made it worse. I don't understand where Ferrari are going. They had such a stable car to begin with. It wasn't porpoising
as
in
much.
The corners.
Yeah, in the corners. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton has dropped 2 seconds behind the lead battle of Leclerc and Verstappen. So these two have checked out at the front.
It's an amazing. If you think we're being subdued this morning, it's because it's very early in the morning.
It's very. We have to keep our voices down somewhat.
Yeah,
which is hard for me.
You know, Lewis is not in the race. He's doing amazing to be in third place.
He's trying to hold on for
Russell
third.
in fifth.
Yeah, he's trying to hold on for third. He's not going to let Perez go through because Perez had that bad start, so he could suffer for it.
Toto and the drivers have all said that if they could get a podium or even in the top 6, then they if both cars can finish in the top 6, it's down its limitation at the moment until they can figure out what's going on.
Here we go then, down we go, down towards turn 1 again. I don't think Perez is close enough behind Hamilton again. He had the DRS, but couldn't really make it through. When is DRS enabled? It should be enabled next lap, so it hasn't come up yet. Josh, you're down in the pit lane. Have you sent any message from race control saying that the DRS enabled? Should be next lap, right? Lap 10.
DRS has just been enabled.
Oh, brilliant. What timing? Brilliant. So the DRS has just now been enabled, and away we go once again.
Em's been asked him that, and I agree with Em.
Latifi off track and needed turn 4.
Oh, so he's run wide, and that's at the car park section.
You know, by this time, by lap 9, you've usually got a situation where there's starting to be a few gaps, but the safety cars just put pay to that.
No, it's radio.
We're virtually back to the beginning.
Okay, Lando, we're thinking plan A, target +5 at least. Confirm. Okay.
5 extra laps.
Yes, that's 5 extra laps.
The safety car has enabled them to add to the number of laps that they could go before the first pit stop. +5.
Well, if that is...
That's a bit going for it, isn't it?
Well, if he's planning a 2-stop strategy or even a 3-stop strategy, that takes it either to lap 17. Yeah, they're going to pit on lap 17. So it looked like he started on the C3 tyres. He was probably going to pit between lap 12 and 17. He's now been told +5. That takes us to the 17. So he'll do a 2-stop strategy then to C2 and C3 at the end. So it looks like Norris, at least, is on the 2-stopper, which is the second quickest way to win this race. Meantime, though, Sergio Perez has the DRS, pulls to the inside, down turn 3. Lewis Hamilton lay on the brakes as well. And Perez retakes the podium position. Lewis is trying to fight back, trying to swing round the outside. Didn't work out that much. Perez takes 3rd. Lewis down to 4th. And came on in this race as well, because Lewis is going to want to cut that one back quick time.
Lewis gets the...
I thought we had a radio there. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but Lewis is getting the pull from the Red Bull now.
Yeah, he'll have the DRS soon.
Yeah.
Closing back up. Sergio Perez finished in the points at debut here in 2011. Disqualified, actually, for having an illegal rear wing that day. Finished all 9 races, his entity at the track as well, finishing the points 4 times. There's Carlos Sainz as well, out of the race for him.
Has it ever been a good track for Carlos? I don't think it has.
No, he was the first retirement here in 2019. He failed to score for the only time in Albert Park in 2019 as well. He's never finished above 8th as well. Well, he did now. And also, he is yet to gain a position from where he has started in any race at this track. That's true. He dropped down 5 at the start of the race. And now he's out of it anyway, so I suppose that completely kicks it off, doesn't it? Oh, and that's Aston Martin. Yeah, is it Sebastian Vettel? It is, down in turn 11, and he's brought gravel back onto the racetrack. That might have to be a safety car to sweep it back up. If you get a puncture from that as well, it'll be a very high-speed accident, and he brought it all the way back onto the track there.
Sebastian hasn't, this is his debut weekend for the season.
Yeah.
And he's just a little bit rusty, and I think he just overcooked it, and that's why he went off.
He's down now to 19th place as well, Vettel. Started 17th, so that off has cost him a lot of time, which I'm not sure he's going to be too happy with. Let's take a look then. Down at turn 11, swings it in, and he's just going to lock up the inside front right and straight into the gravel.
Yeah, he's very lucky to keep it out of the wall there.
So difficult to judge that car under braking.
So difficult to judge the car under braking. Well, of course, he hasn't driven it since Bahrain testing.
Yeah, he's just getting used to it.
Yeah, well over a month ago now. In fact, a month ago exactly was the last time he driven that car.
Everybody knows that when they get into a car, for the first time.
Oil
You know,
flag. So track surface slippery.
and he's only had 2 days really in this car since, as you say, Bahrain testing, and
yeah,
it's everybody was finding at the start of the season that problem, and in fact, the number of cars that have gone off at that position in the practice sessions, because if you just overcook it just a bit, you've lost it.
Ted's in the pits.
In relation to Mercedes, they thought they might
Blame
be quicker
Daniel.
than them. And I think this first stint is proving that if they could get past, they probably are. But there's no sign that Mercedes are wanting Russell past Hamilton, and that's meaning that neither Ricciardo nor Lando Norris are able to get past Russell in turn. So, well, they'll have to work it out on strategy and see if they really are quicker.
What's happened to Max Verstappen? He's 3.5 seconds off the pace now.
My left front is completely grey.
Wow. That's why he's got Verstappen's lost tyres. He's lost complete tyres. He started on mediums.
He seems to a bit like the old Silverstone problem. It's graining on just one wheel.
Has he made a mistake somewhere? Down it, he has. He's locked up.
He locked up, and that's why it's grained on that wheel. Yeah.
Down at turn 12.
I was going to say, it's not usually the circuit. I know it's been resurfaced, but it's not usually the circuit that does that.
No, it's usually quite a slow, abrasive circuit.
Is that better like this? If I take less the curve, but I don't think that much?
Yes, that's better for us. Thank you.
One of the reasons Ross went for the new cars having be a downforce car is to try and help the tyres,
stop the grain. Yeah.
Stop the graining.
And I'm just having a look at this monitor as well, because look at this. The two McLarens now are just towing, getting a tow off the Mercedes.
Off at and continued at turn 11.
So he too has brought gravel onto the track now as well, which isn't great news. And it's time for our annual. If you are in the UK and are Sky Glass or Sky Q customer, you can watch highlights of the race alongside the live action by pressing the red button. Let's take a look at Schumacher's off at turn 11. Does he get the same like Sainz? What happens? Oh, he's going to touch a wheel on the grass. He was lucky not to go around there, and that was a very, very lucky save from young Michael Schumacher Jr.
Okay, when you can you give us a tyre update and update on status, please?
Everyone's going to come for me now saying, his name's Mick, not Michael. What's it
It's
short for?
Mickey Babe.
Yeah, copy that. People on the mediums also struggling with the tyres at the moment.
Yeah, what's Mick short for, everyone? Michael. His name is Michael Schumacher.
His name is Michael, but then again, his father's the famous Michael.
So he went by Mick. And actually, in his karting days, he went by his mother's maiden name. Not Schumacher in his early karting, so he didn't want any special treatment. It was only when he got to Open Formula he started using Schumacher. Yeah, it was Mick Bush. Which sounds very fun to say as well. So no wonder he decided to say it as well as they come through. Right, 1 hour 38 minutes left on the clock. We have 14 laps into this race as well. 45 remain of the 58 we have. It's Leclerc leading by 5.4 seconds to Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez is in third. Lewis Hamilton is fourth. His teammate George Russell is fifth. Norris and Ricciardo are sixth and seventh. There's a move going on down there as well as Bottas looked to the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. Didn't get through. He's got another opportunity now with a second DRS zone on the run down towards turn 3. Tsunoda goes defensive. Bottas can't go for a lunge. Thinks about it. Wonderful count. Locks up as well. Into turn 3. He can run wide though. As here's our first pit stop at Lance Stroll. Because into the pit lane now comes Nicholas Latifi. A 3.2 second stop. And Josh, what tyres has he put on?
Latifi has put on the used hards. I was just reading on Sainz.
Yep.
Apparently he had a clutch fail on the start and he got frustrated and he tried to push while the hards were still cold and went into the gravel.
Oh, completely his fault then. He was too arrogant with it, to be fair.
No. If he's like Josh says, there's a clutch failure at the start, so he got the clutch bite wasn't right. That can be one of two things, but it sounds like a lack of hydraulic pressure.
Yep. So far, so good. Just a little bit on both axles.
That's about graining.
Copy that, loud and clear.
The other thing is that the program bite point could have been set wrong, and that's why he didn't pull away as cleanly as he thinks. And if the bite point is set wrong, and then when you want to do the things you would do naturally,
Schumacher
it would do what the car would do what it's doing.
Yep, Schumacher's come in and put on the hard compound tyre. Leclerc radio.
And we are going plan A +5.
Exactly the same as...
Same as Lando. So they're going to pit lap... Well, they can't pit lap 17. So this must be pitting lap... So this is... We're waiting for Norris to come in, unless he is doing lap 17 to 27. So this could be a one-stopper for Ferrari. Sainz already changed.
And we are going plan A +5.
Yeah, Sainz already changed. He's on the pit wall trying to help the Ferrari team in any way he can, but that is disastrous for the Constructors' Championship. Sainz was second in the standings on 33 points. He's going to remain on that. Everyone else is going to move up. Sainz is going to move into about, well, 5th or 6th position in the Drivers' Championship, and Leclerc is going to eke away even more. Leclerc will leave Australia as the championship leader, no doubt about that, and Ferrari will leave here, touch wood, as the Constructors' Championship leader, because they've got a 40-point gap to Mercedes and a 41-point gap to Red Bull, and only 42 points on offer.
Sainz's problems, all from the first, initial engagement of the clutch.
Oh, 2 seconds. Tsunoda goes defensive. Bottas swings around the outside with the DRS down towards turn 1. Bottas takes 11th. Tsunoda backs out of it. And now here comes Magnussen as well to try and take advantage. The sun has disappeared. The track temperature's dropped.
They're trying to pick it up. Tyres have taken a bit of a hit.
Oh.
Bit more on the front.
Copy.
So Ricardo's now reporting as well that the tyres have now picked up grading. Tsunoda looks slow, and Magnussen's right with him as well, coming out of turn 5 as well. He's got so much more acceleration, has K-Mag as well. Where is he going to try and put the manoeuvre? Haas have not historically had a great time here in Australia. 2 retirements in the last 2 appearances here from K-Mag in Australia, 2019 and 2018. But now on the run down towards turn 11 as well, 9 and 10 I should say. Bit close, gaining. Can't make the move, and he would have if that was a DRS zone. He's locked up, but he's gone straight on.
Oh.
K-Mag through the grass, doesn't end up in the gravel like Sainz does, but does give a position up to Zhou Guanyu.
K-Mag has been ill over the last few days, and he's just that was just and he was going in too fast.
Too much.
He also nearly took out Zhou Guanyu out.
Yeah. And
okay, mate, so after turn 8, we need to do fail B, 0B. That's 11 presses on the right-hand button.
All okay, Kev?
Yeah, my bad, sorry.
Yeah, he said as well, my bad on the radio as well. So it was an accident,
But
though. He
definitely,
locked up.
I've been thinking like mad about whether or not it's a clutch plate problem. I doubt it, because the clutch is quite
quite hard.
new.
Yeah, it's quite new on this one.
And unless it's got a manufacturing problem, so it's more than likely a hydraulic problem. And the incident that led to him going out, and the start of the race problem, like Josh said, suggests that I think it will in the end be a small leak on the brake system.
Keeping of that, remember what
reducing the hydraulic pressure.
Yeah, keeping on that, remember what we heard in the pre-show from Ted Kravitz as well. For those of you on USRN, you had that Ted Kravitz radio. For those of you on YouTube, you didn't, so I'll explain it to you.
All okay, Kev?
Yeah, my bad, sorry.
Ted Kravitz reported in the pre-show that both of the Alpines struggling with hydraulic pressure, and that they don't know themselves if they can make it to the end of the race. So the Alpines are effectively a ticking time bomb during this race. Currently, Ocon is 8th and Alonso is 10th, but Alonso should really be challenging for the podiums here. The field is spread out too much for what would have been pole position. As into the pits now comes Ocon. So Ocon comes in, hard to compound tyres look to be the call as well, as he's going to change over through those C3 mediums. So this is either going to be to the end of the race or to lap 37 to 43. It's following so far it's following the one-stop strategy, to be fair. It's a long stop, held on the rear right for too long, and gets out, and he's going to drop right down the field as well. I can't see where he's going to drop to.
4 seconds exactly.
How's K-Mag doing on that lap? Because if you have to press a button 11 times, that's usually a reset system.
Magnussen's last lap was
to reset one of the systems, and
so if you've got more pace, this is the time to use it.
Magnussen's last lap time was a 1:25.421. For comparison, Zhou's was a 1:25.511. So he's actually a 10th quicker. So Magnussen looks like he's back up to full mix now. As saying that, Fernando Alonso activated his own version of attack mode to push the overtake button to use more of the ERS, the energy recovery system. And
just-
Verstappen, box for Verstappen. And he's into the pit lane. So Red Bull come in.
Graining's too much then.
So he's come in early, and we'll head down to Ted Kravitz.
Verstappen is heading your way.
All right, so let's have it. It's the hard tyres who've come out to go onto the car. So you're going to lose 20 seconds. 20 seconds is the lost time with a good stop, but it is a good stop so far. It's a little bit slow away, but that was pretty sound stuff from the Red Bull guys.
2.9.
It's only 13 seconds if you stop behind a virtual safety car or a safety car. So I wonder if anybody else out there, let's see if Ferrari responds.
Yeah, let's see if Ferrari responds to that as well.
Tsunoda pits.
Yep, Tsunoda's down to 13th place, so he pits as well. Verstappen's come out of the pit lane now in 7th place. Got Gasly and Alonso right behind him. Alonso's got the DRS. Alonso goes to the inside to try and take the position, and Alonso goes to 8th place. Passes Gasly, goes a bit too deep. Gasly tries to cut back round the outside. Hasn't worked out. Verstappen looks to be struggling on those new tyres. They're not to full temperature yet as well. And now, one thing that we don't need is a safety car, because that will hamper what Verstappen just did. Exactly what happened to Perez last time out.
Do you know, Fernando, and Megan's not here, but I will say, you know, that the positioning of that car was absolutely perfect for that overtake.
Let's take a look at it.
You watch this. This is so much skill and experience of a world champion.
Considering he turned
Look
into
at that.
Considering
Using the car in front to shield himself.
Yeah.
Because the position of the car in front led to that overtake.
Considering that the last time he tried that manoeuvre, that corner, he turned into a flying machine. It's quite surprising he went that close. As Hamilton has the DRS on Perez.
RNG2, and we see the R4 Core 2. Can you do 2 more laps?
Yeah, I'll try.
So it's 7-lap extension now.
And
for
you
Lando
can
Norris.
guarantee that Lewis is thinking to himself, well, if Max has had to go in for tyres, if I can just creep up to the back and force Perez Checo into a few over braking situations, right? Then I could get back in front here.
And it also looks to be that
he's hounding him. If you look,
he is.
He's such some of the skill out there today. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they?
It's this new circuit. They love it. It's been reprofiled so much. It's a different circuit completely. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying this.
I mean, he doesn't want to take any plaudits for it, but Ricardo...
Daniel, have you got tyres to go twice past? Have you got tyres to go twice past?
They want to ask Ricardo the same thing as Norris.
Yep. They can clear air. The feeder could be a bit better. Haven't had a clear air yet.
Daniel wanted to
Leclerc still has good pace
allow
in medium. Other cars still have good pace. Some have high deg.
Perez pits.
Yeah.
This lap, Verstappen is 4.5 seconds behind on new tyres.
Norris
so we want
pits.
maximum pace as soon as Lando's out your way.
Yeah, so Ricardo's going to get free air because Lando Norris is coming into the pit lane. Perez pits. Hamilton goes to second. Russell goes to third. Now this is going to be a really super stop for Sergio Perez as he comes in as well. Two tyres at the front, 2 tyres at the rear, and away he goes. Nice stop. Was that the hard compound tyre? Anyway, here's Lando Norris. 2.5 second stop for Perez. Lando Norris away. Brand new hard. 2.4. He's a quicker, but Perez comes out behind Bottas and Gasly's battle. Norris comes out between Magnussen and Zhou Guanyu's battle as well. And down to 12th position.
Lando will pit this lap. Verstappen is 4.5 seconds behind
What's
on
a
new
delayed
tyres. So we want
message?
maximum pace as soon as Lando's out your way.
Okay.
And Lando's under pressure here as well from Alexander Albon. Albon trying to go around the outside. Hasn't worked out that way.
Sainz has just appeared on the driver track again.
Yep.
And Leclerc, just looking at it.
Oh, he has, hasn't he?
Look, Leclerc's nearly got a free pit stop.
17.9 seconds, yeah. This has worked out perfectly for Ferrari. Red Bull both trying the undercut. Verstappen set the fastest lap of this race, a 1:23.217 as well. So already that's improved. It's lap 22 of 58. And this is the first pit stop window. Is that Ricardo with
Ricardo
a problem?
box.
Right, I thought he had a problem there because he was a bit slow out turn 11, wasn't he? But this is Ricardo coming in the pits. He's running 4th at the moment. He's got 20. No, hang on. He's got a second to Verstappen. So where is this going to block Ricardo's?
Is there anyone out there on a hard tyre?
Yes, Alonso is on the hard tyre. Last lap was green, 24.7.
Into the pits then comes Ricardo on the marks.
Gasly and Zhou also.
And it's a nice stop from Ricciardo as well. As Ricciardo, Gasly in 2, Zhou in the pits. As away goes Ricciardo. Where's he going to move to? That's the question, as things stand.
Danny Rick, when he...
he's behind a lot. He's behind Norris. Sorry, he's going to block. Oh, he blocked the Williams so much there. Here comes Vettel.
Yeah, Vettel's coming up.
Oh, it's 3 abreast. This is never nice. That's Lance Stroll. Sorry, Stroll trying to go on the outside. 3 abreast. It's Lance Stroll. It's Lance Stroll. He backs out of it. Albon trying to go right around the outside. Goes too deep. Ricciardo goes ahead. Through goes Stroll. And it's all sorts of mayhem now at that part of the track. Leclerc, box. He's coming into the pit lane this lap. Albon slow now. And now Vettel. Here's Vettel going to try and get through. So the two Astons are running together. And it was Stroll come through.
Launch map racing Aston Martin pit exit. Use overtake.
That's Ricardo radio, and it worked perfectly. Race leader pits, changes over.
Hamilton, box.
So it's a free pit stop for Charles Leclerc, with Hamilton coming in to respond as well. Russell's not going to take the lead of the race. Charles Leclerc, with a 2.7 stop, keeps the lead of the Grand Prix of Australia, and he's 1.3 seconds now behind, in front of Russell. Hamilton comes in very slow, it looks like, as well. Changes over the tyres as well. Good stop there. What was it? At least 3?
2.8.
2.8.
All right, 2.8 seconds, and he's going to win. Does he come out ahead, crucially, of Perez? And he does! The overcut has... No, hang on a minute. Yes, he does! Bottas pits, that's why. So the overcut has worked for Lewis Hamilton. He gets out crucially ahead of Sergio Perez, but the tyres are not up to temperature yet. Perez can have the attack on him as well. The two Astons going to try and go together. Alonso's joining the battle now as well. It's all kicking off here down under. Oh, and Hamilton's made a mistake. Perez is on the back of him. Hamilton's made an error coming through turn 4 and 5. Just as I was going to let you speed down, we've got a yellow. So someone's off the track. Can't tell where just yet, as Lewis is still holding off from Perez. Yeah, it's a yellow flag. Josh, can you see where? I can't. Hamilton radio.
Warm-up is bad on this tyre.
Sector 7.
Sector 7 as Perez trying to go right round the outside. Down towards turn 11 on Lewis Hamilton. If he does it, it's a great... What a move! What a move! As we've got a safety car. Safety car deployed, and we don't know why. And Hamilton's trying to go, but the safety car is called. So who's off it? It's Vettel. Vettel stopped. Can't see why, and that's why. Vettel's just stopped.
This plays into the hands for George.
Russell, yeah. Russell's in. He gets a free pit stop. And Fernando gets a stop. Fernando moves up to 4th. That replenishes what happened. This is bad news. Oh, we got another crash. Sorry, we got another crash. Was that a big contact we just flicked to? Who's hit? Did you see the flash?
Yeah, but I think that's that looked like green. So unless they both come together, and I don't think they have, I think when we get the replay, I think you might find that Sebastian's hit something. He's got no front wing. That's where the debris is. But he's also got damage to the floor. Look.
So what? That's how it turned. There. Look, you're right. He's hit the wing. And so that's a front wing's exploded, and they might have to stop it. Hopefully they can recover it, but. Who's he made contact with? That's an awful lot of... he's hit the wall, the exit.
The wall.
Right, let's take a look. You're right. You're spot on, Dad, as well. That's where he's lost it. Coming through this part of the track. Runs over the curb, and he does what Nakajima did back in 2009. He catches the oversteer, knocks off the front wing, and the car just goes immediately into anti-stall. So out of the race then. For Sebastian. Oh, that's a nasty hit as well.
So we're boxing, Lance. We are still boxing. Box for hard. Box for hard. And I'm adding a compound stepper flap.
Exactly what happened as well to Kazuki Nakajima back in 2009. And it's brought out the safety car on lap 24 of 58.
We still have 2 Astons on the circuit, though, because the safety car's in Aston this weekend.
Yes. Apologies, by the way, for buffering on YouTube. Hopefully it'll be fixed shortly. You're still listening to us okay on USRN. Apparently the encoder's overloading, which is always great news, isn't it? Presumed because everyone's bunched up on the driver tracker as well. Perez couldn't catch a break with his bad luck, absolutely. Let us know, by the way, in the YouTube chat if you can hear us clearly. We're back now. Never mind.
Everyone on the hards now.
Yeah. See, the buffering only lasts for a couple of minutes, and that's only because the internet at this time of the morning as well reboots itself. Not our own internet, but the internet of the servers switch on for the morning shift as well. So it just takes a little second. But,
in Iceland?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
One of the great earners for the Icelandic people is the fact that they've got all this space where you can put all these different server companies in these big warehouse-looking things. It's amazing. I saw a documentary on it once.
This is my overtake of the year already. Sergio Perez around the outside coming into turn number 9 and 10. That was an absolutely fantastic move. At over 200 miles an hour, round the outside into one of the most tricky and dangerous corners on this track, and he pulled it off.
Remember, he hasn't got the porpoising that Lewis has.
They're just one Marshall pushing the car.
That's what I was just thinking. Come on, guys, somebody help him. I mean, there's another Marshall there on the radio. Oh, that's a bit poor. Presumably everyone else is also clearing up the debris. Maybe a long safety car period. Let's go over to the YouTube chat quickly as well. And apologies if you're listening on USON. I still can't get the chat open. I'm trying.
I think that's an incline. I think he's pushing it down an incline.
Yeah.
Because I can't see with the new heavier cars.
How he did that, yeah.
Unless he's one of the contestants in the world strong. How did they do the He-Man stuff in?
No idea. I know what you mean.
In Australia, they do what Ricardo used to do, didn't he? And so. The biking, swimming, and
we've got it on here as well now. Our own USON admins as well saying as well. Hamilton never was able to use his DRS on Perez. Checo has checked him out up front. Well, he's just changed it over now as well. In the YouTube chat as well. Let's go over. Latifi hasn't outed yet as well. That's a good point as well. He's still in the race. He hasn't put it in the wall just yet. He did it in qualifying yesterday. As well. And Drew Blank Music says, I'm listening in YouTube from the US. You're all doing a capital job. Thank you very much. As well, because it's very early in the morning here in the UK. It's 6:43 a.m. and we're doing this race. It's the first of several races that you can watch here today.
In terms of tyre offset, it's 4 laps to Leclerc.
And Australia now says triathlon. He's pushing that one back.
Triathlon, that's the name. And on a different subject, because we've got a safety car and things like that, and we chat about some different things.
Oh, 2 seconds. We've already heard that radio from Lewis Hamilton, or we will hear it in a second. It didn't come on the pictures at the moment. We didn't hear that.
I tell you one thing I've noticed is the number of light green utes that there are around. You know, the trucks.
Oh yeah.
Lime green.
Lime green. Oh right, I was wondering.
A nice truck in red or metallic blue, but lime green.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing. Hello to USRN2 says, hi Josh, almost 2 a.m. here in South Carolina and listening. Excellent job all, and that is from Seth as well. My goodness me, it's early morning over there as well. Now we've got a question here as well from M.
So George benefited from that safety car, so he's managed to box under it.
What does that mean? I've lost position.
A firm.
Keep getting unlucky with safety cars.
Yeah, exactly that, Lewis. Yeah, it's just bad luck.
And here comes the Team LH saying it's all a conspiracy to throw out the safety cars to stop Lewis winning the championship. Blah blah blah.
There's proof. Just when you're twins, you don't have to support the same team. You know, twins dressed one as McLaren, one as Ferrari.
Great idea, to be fair. Well, for Australia as well, they love Ferrari down here, especially in
safety
Melbourne.
car in his lap.
Well, obviously, one of the girl twins didn't.
Yes,
she's got McLaren.
Yeah.
But then in this, Bruce McLaren, the tradition of Bruce McLaren is still very strong in Australia,
and
especially with a certain Daniel Rick driving
for McLaren.
McLaren.
As you heard Josh Pace say in the pits, safety car in this lap. We're going to go for the restart here.
I always think that Melbourne.
That was my pace and advice then compared to behind me.
I always think that Melbourne.
Strong there, Lewis.
Melbourne looks a bit like Miami.
Yeah.
Rather, Sydney has got a few high rises now, but the Melbourne skyline is completely packed with high rises now. Look at that. Look at it.
Wow.
Thank you, producer, for giving us the shot. And there's exactly what you mean.
Ben
and the
must
circuit,
be listening. Yeah, Ben must be listening.
There's all these flats that have appeared.
See down there, that one there, was just the corner. That was Kellyanne's Hotel back in 2020. Schumacher's on the radio.
Holy cow, that was close.
Oh my word! So that was Schumacher almost running into the back of Tsunoda, who effectively brake tested him on the start-finish straight there on the previous lap. That was almost a horrific accident. We're coming to the green then. 2 safety cars, you said, in this race. We've already had 2. We're only at
Yeah.
we're not even halfway. It's like 26 and 58.
Okay, reset brake balance. Suggest.
Yeah, and here we go again then. So Leclerc's going to lead them with Verstappen in second position. They're coming to the restart. Can they keep it calm? Can they keep it controlled? Verstappen still staying with Leclerc as well. Leclerc's going to hit the gas out of this corner.
Green flag.
Safety car is in. The green flag is out and
Safety
away.
car line coming up.
And Leclerc got a much poorer getaway. Here comes Verstappen as well. Down the start-finish straight. Pulls to the outside line. Using the overtake button as well. Leclerc got a terrible restart. He did what Hakkinen did in 99. Just didn't get going. Leclerc leads into turn 1. But Verstappen is right with him. Down towards turn number 3. Verstappen, not with the DRS as well. Russell's there as well. He's having to defend for Fernando Alonso. What year is this? With a Verstappen and Alonso racing at the front. Russell's in there as well. Trying to go for second place. Verstappen just backs out of it. But what happened to Leclerc? He just didn't get going out the last corner.
Do you think that the clutch problem
Slips,
with
yeah.
Sainz is slipping slightly as you start to engage the major torque, right? It's
I was having, yeah.
Instead of going like that, it's going like that.
Yeah, slowly go through. I tell you what, that had
hydraulics.
Yeah, I had visions there as well of what happened to Hakkinen in '99. It was even the same camera angle.
But what I was looking at was the fact that the positioning of Leclerc, he knew exactly where Verstappen would go.
Look at Perez trying to go to the inside to try and get ahead.
They raced together since they were kids, and they know each other so well.
Alonso's getting held up here. Alonso's massively getting held up by Russell. He needs to clear him as well if he wants to get the podium. But look at this. Leclerc now has pulled out a 1.2 second gap to Verstappen, so he's already outside the DRS zone. To answer your question, Em, yes, it's another 3 laps before the DRS can be used on a safety car restart. Magnussen looking to the inside of Hamilton for P6, not working out.
Didn't that remind you of Nico and Lewis?
Yes, yeah.
You know, the way they knew each other so well. And the longer this season goes on with those two...
Norris looking to the inside of Magnussen.
It's going to be a repeat of the Nico-Lewis situation, isn't it?
All for it.
And what does that lead to eventually?
Big accidents. Yeah, always big accidents. Australia now says Melbourne has weather of England as well. Yeah, land of the 4 seasons. It literally changes every single time as well.
Yeah, so Sydney had a lot of flooding back end of the week there in the Thursday, Friday area. A lot of rain in Sydney, wasn't there?
A lot of rain, definitely in Sydney as well as it comes
Where
through.
was Beth?
Beth isn't with us for the next 6 weeks at the moment. She sent me an email this morning, actually. I haven't had time to read out the poem she sent us, actually, from what she's made. I will do that. I've got it up and I'll read it quickly. She sent me an email that she can't be with us for the next 6 weeks. She's changing over IT companies, but she's going to be listening in post-live when she gets access to it because she's got a new internet IT service coming up. So Beth's not with us the next couple of weeks, which is a shame, but we'll have us back soon.
Well, we're keeping the IT... We're updating the speed.
Incident.
Oh, go on, Josh.
Incident involving cars 47, Schumacher, and 22, Tsunoda, and 10, Gasly, noted for safety car infringement.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if we have a replay of that? I thought at the time that there was a car in front of Tsunoda, and Tsunoda, being a young rookie type thing, reacted to it, and Mick didn't.
Okay, well, this is what Beth sent out.
DRS enabled.
Ah, brilliant. So while we've got this little second as well, before we hit the next DRS zone, Beth sent us this morning saying, "But Chileans all, let us rejoice. This channel is fun yet free. We got new regs, sacked Russian dregs, no more grit by COVID-C. Our tracks abound with high-speed bends, with bitters, hopes, and ale. In F1's page, let every stage advance F1 fair. If Danny Rick wins, we will all sing Advance Australia Fair." So that's what she sent us this morning.
Thank you, Bev, because I have been looking down at the chat and thinking,
she's not there, yeah.
She's not there, and you miss the quips that she comes out with and the jokes.
Yeah, she sent us saying, "Hi, just quick note to mention 2 things. Sorry, but due to developments down here, I'm unable to watch your Grand Prix coverage this afternoon, and I won't be around much for the next 6 weeks as I'm travelling for work. I'm switching to a new IT system, so won't be able to watch YouTube." Talk about bad timing. Absolutely, but she sent us that as well. She's going to keep emailing me with things as well. So she'll still be here with emails and everything. As Alonso goes defensive, Perez is trying to go around the outside to turn 1. Hasn't worked out that way, but Alonso now going to have to defend again in the second DRS zone on the run down towards turn number 3. Alonso goes defensive. Perez takes the inside line, and Alonso really just lets Perez through. Not the fight he wants to get involved in today as well. Fernando, he's on a long race pace strategy. Magnussen radios.
And K1 is available.
K1 is the maximum power usage you can use on that Haas, so he's now go, go, go in terms of the action as well. We've opened back up Discord as Josh has got his camera sorted as well.
This is coming into play with Russell and Perez.
Yeah.
I just feel that Leclerc and Verstappen might not win this race. It might be Russell or Perez.
It's so it's changing.
And I would put
dramatically,
my money on Perez, actually.
It's changing big time. Perez to win. Oh.
Simply because of the fact that the grunt of that Red Bull, he's better at the moment, and the downforce is smoother with the Red Bull. But I would love to see Georgie boy.
Tell you what, the new regulations really have saved Melbourne, isn't it? I mean, we've never had really...
Well, no, Ricardo also has lengthened some of the corners.
2 seconds. Alonso's going defensive. Down to turn 1 again. Lewis Hamilton moves to the inside of the right and takes the lead. And again, the light is on the front of that Mercedes. They're doing research and development during the race, believe it or not. That sensor's keeping an eye on the new floor damage as well to see what they can change.
Yeah, the last time we saw that, that's on a car, was actually the Alpine when it was Renault.
Yeah.
And they had 2 sensors on the front, measuring the flexing of the front wing.
Yeah, so there goes the spark, and then on comes the sensor when it registers that so the light comes on to measure because when the car starts sparking, it triggers the sensor, and then the sensor starts recording it.
Yeah, the Ferrari actually has a FIA sensor on it this weekend, trying to measure the flex.
Magnussen.
Come on, Kev, these are really good laps.
Yeah, come on.
Straight 3.
That last one was Sonoda saying steak 3.
Red Bull
Is that Sonoda's lunch menu? Steak 3, steak 3.
Oh, he actually, Sonoda actually loves Aussie beef. I mean, we used to love Aussie beef. It doesn't shrink as much as beef from everywhere else.
That's because it's used to the heat, isn't it, as well, with Australia?
I think it's the way.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that it's such a lot of natural grass that they actually feed on.
Fastest lap goes to Charles Leclerc, 1:22.450. So Leclerc once again improving on times in this race. Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Perez, and Hamilton at the top. And Verstappen on very much older tyres now as well, 13 to Leclerc 9.
So, it's at that stage, right?
With 27 laps to go, it's like 32.58.
10 laps away from the famous 15 laps to go.
Don't think we could take another one.
Let me know where I'm down, mate.
Everywhere, Lewis.
Yeah, copy. We'll get a lap in clear here. We'll let you know. So all cars ahead have stopped.
I'm just looking
at
looking at the interval section as it came up on the.
Hamilton's setting okay sectors.
Yeah.
To be fair, he is actually setting okay sectors.
He's doing okay. I mean, both the Mercedes and the McLarens. This series, it suits them much better. As we said, Ricciardo was a consultant to the changes.
Yeah, this new one.
He tried to lengthen some of the dump corners where you approach really fast and then you brake, to giving you a longer time before you have to brake.
Yeah.
He took out the 8 and 9, was it?
Yeah, took out 8 and the 8 and 9.
His suggestion was to take out the chicane at 8 and 9 to get a lot more speed. Alonso didn't like the idea of the for safety reasons. Of the DRS zone down at 5 and 6.
Is this an overtake? This is the McLaren. Yep, it's Lando Norris trying to go around the outside of turn 3 on Magnussen. No, Magnussen's passed Norris. Correction on my part. It's because the camera angle was rubbish to tell who it was. It's Magnussen getting past Lando Norris. So K-Mag moves up to 7th place, and now he'll challenge Fernando Alonso, who's dropped back to 6th position. Hamilton's gone through as well. We saw that happen on the TV pictures a few moments ago. But K-Mag doing amazingly well. But look how much Lando is closing up, even without DRS in this section as well. I think it might have been a bit overpowered if we had DRS in that part now. So maybe Fernando was correct. But we would have had so much closer racing. But this race track is delivering an exciting Grand Prix. When was the last time you could say that about Australia? I don't think you could until at least 2003.
The last time we raced in Australia, there was the least number of overtakes in the entire season.
Are these guys pulling away from me? Looks like it.
Yeah, so we've got George at 23.2, Perez at 22.8. He's attacking George, obviously. Just be careful, he may overcook his tyres. He'll come back to us.
And now Magnussen's going to have to go defensive as Norris pulls to the inside line. We're on board with driver's eye, and Lando goes through. Ricciardo thinks about it at the same time as well. It didn't work out. Ocon was thinking about getting a move done there as well on Alexander Albon. Here comes Ricciardo, though, to move up ahead of Magnussen. Magnussen beginning to fall back. And no, this battle between 7th down is really heating up. 7th and down. There you go, football references for all our American fans.
Do you know what? When you said football, you mean gridiron, yeah. So.
Oh, don't you start. Coming through as well. And again, look, Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:22.023. So Leclerc is setting fastest lap times and faster times as well as they come through. And I'm just taking a look. Yeah, Perez has moved up 6 places in this race. Unbelievable. From him as well, from where he started. This is Charles Leclerc. Look, this is our race leader for Ferrari, who haven't won here since 2018, I think, in my mind. I'll double check that when I find my F1 book, wherever it is. I think it might be over there, actually. So I'll move over there and take a quick look at it, because we haven't actually raced here since that, so that book is new. But it's getting very chaotic again, very close action.
To strangle me with his cable.
Sorry. As we come through. I thought we were going to have team radio there, but it turns out no, we're not, as they come through. Yeah, previous winners, Vettel won here in 18. That was Ferrari's last victory, but Jenson Button won here in 2010. Sebastian Vettel for Red Bull in 2011. Button again in 12. Raikkonen run here in 13. Then it was a Mercedes domination with Rosberg in 14, Hamilton 15, Rosberg 16. Vettel won here for Ferrari in 17 and 18, and Bottas won here last time in 2019.
And very rarely the pole sitter.
Yes, very rarely. Only 9 times, I believe, the pole sitter has won here. Yeah, the Australian Grand Prix has been won at Albert Park from pole on 9 occasions. It has been won from the front row 15 times of the 25 races we've ever had here as well. That means 9 Grand Prix here have been won from 3rd or further back on the grid. And this is Danny Ricciardo making a move on the inside of Kevin Magnussen down towards turn 1. The Aussie is up.
5A stewards.
Go on, Josh, because we can't see up in the box, actually.
Incident involving cars 47 Schumacher, 22 Tsunoda and 10 Gasly will be investigated after the race for safety car infringement.
Well, that's a slam dunk. What's the radio?
To George, important. Management is more important than position. If you're hurting the tyres to keep Perez behind, you can let him by.
That's not what I want to hear. Yeah, I do feel for George Russell. He got...
How much can I push?
That's Norris.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. So car in front is Alonso. He has not stopped yet.
I really do feel for George Russell. They made him wait in 2020.
Was a good amount. We can continue with that.
Yeah, in 2021, they made Russell wait by giving Bottas an extension on the year's contract.
But look how Bottas is doing now.
Yeah, but as soon as Bottas goes out and leaves the top team, he does amazing. But Russell now is struggling in that Mercedes because the car just doesn't work. So Russell's going to have to play the long game here, and I really feel sorry for him. I really, really do. He should have been in the car last year because now he's having to go to the dirt to try and defend again from Perez, who goes off the racing line as well. The pair of them through turn 9 and 10, try and make the position up. Didn't work out in the DRS zone now as well. Russell goes to the inside. Perez sweeps round the outside at turn 11, and Perez takes the final podium spot. And Russell will now have to play the extreme long game with 22 laps of this race to go here in Albert Park.
Effectively, that was, for George, Perez is faster than you.
Yeah.
Acknowledge.
To George, important. Management is more important than position. If you're hurting the tyres to keep Perez behind, you can let him by.
And Ted
is going in his fight with Sergio Perez, because I think the bigger picture is that maybe Lewis is now thinking that he's looking after his tyres and he can close up behind George Russell and have a fight with him towards the end. We'll see how that one's playing out. But yeah, Hamilton keeping informed on his teammates' fight.
Cheers, Ted. And this was Perez again, getting through the manoeuvres on George Russell, trying to go to the inside line, down the order as well. Thought we had a brief yellow there. Can't see anything.
I think they allowed George there to back up Perez a bit, so that like Lewis can now join the fight, but it's also bringing Alonso and Norris towards the fight as well.
I think, actually, just thinking about it, we know that Vettel's now out of the race, don't we? But I think that's the fewest laps Sebastian Vettel has ever done here at Albert Park. I think he's only done less than 30.
Well, until this season, he hadn't missed the Grand Prix, had he, for years.
And now he's really struggling, isn't he? Like, really struggling.
Do you know, back end of last season, I thought that Sebastian's heart wasn't in it as much.
This year sort of proves it, doesn't it?
Yeah, although he was improving in that car, his just demeanour, it's as if he's not loving it as much as he did years and years ago when he was at the front. And so when you champion like him, a multiple champion, to be so far back, you've seen it with Lewis this year. Lewis is a bit subdued over being there.
Stroll's having to go defensive as well because Bottas is trying to go right around the outside.
Okay, mate, we're going to need to lift and coast into turn 1 and 3, 1 second both places for engine temps.
That's Ocon on the radio.
Yeah, well, I cannot because we get overtaken.
Want to get on with the action. I want to see something.
Okay, mate, it's either that or we need free air. Unfortunately, it's not optional. So either lift and coast or free air.
The new regulations also bring something in that we talked about in practice, and I know that other people have mentioned it, and that is the fact that for the first time in years, you've got to actually worry about the thickness. There are gradient marks on the plank underneath, and if you go and hit that gradient mark, you are disqualified.
And yeah, there is, and that's the problem now.
And with downforce cars, this is the first time in 20 years that's become a worry.
Leclerc's done another fastest lap, 1:21.291, as well as M says on the
FIA stewards.
2 seconds, Josh. I'll just get through this. Wait. HTF Magnussen is in 7th. Oh, that's Max Verstappen! Max Verstappen is stopping!
Out.
I don't believe
keep
it!
the deals to Ocon if you can.
Max Verstappen, for the second time this year! Stop the car, please! Stop the car! I don't believe it! And this will be another safety car. It's a virtual safety car. Max Verstappen, 2 out of 3 races, DNF, no points. What is going on?
And Jonathan looking there as if not again.
It's on fire, it looks like.
Yeah, it's the they thought they'd solved this, the overheating problem. It heats up, the battery heats up the fuel area. And that's exactly, what's
it's
happened.
On fire.
Here.
It's completely on fire. No, it's fire. It's overheated. It's completely on fire. And don't put it on the bodywork.
This is
get it
why
in the car.
This is why you're gonna worry about the other 3 cars. The 2 Alfa
Tauris. Yeah, let's take a look.
And Perez's car.
Let's listen. Sounds okay.
No, it doesn't.
Dies there.
Dies.
Well, that's
complete power unit loss. Complete power loss.
Yeah.
That's some weird fluid. Everything is doing itself.
So he smells.
And if you remember,
and that could be the engine gone.
Well, if
completely. So that's an engine change. And how many do you have this year?
3, and they've already used 1. If you remember as well. We actually saw in the pre-show the fact that they had to completely take apart Verstappen's car to fix a problem with the oil. And we were wondering if that was going to last the whole race. It's proved it hasn't. And Alpine going to respond with Fernando Alonso coming into the pit lane under the full virtual safety car as well.
Oh, Megan, if Alonso gets a podium and you're still in bed.
Oh, I've told her I'm going to because Mum is now awake. It's 7:05. I've told her she's kept her normal clothes at the side of her bed. She's going to run to the commentary box if Alonso gets a podium. Virtual safety car is ending.
Everything is doing itself. top.
Has Magnussen left the pit lane? Yes. And a free tyre pit stop then for Alonso and for Magnussen. And they can go as fast as they like. Look, Leclerc. That was Latifi crossing the pit lane exit. Virtual safety car is in. Green flag running again. Magnussen and Alonso get a free pit stop. And now watch out for Alonso. He's out on the medium compound tyre. And he's going to be so much faster in this race. I do wonder if it's going to happen. And apparently the virtual safety car is still out on that screen. So I think our timing monitor is a little behind there. It is. So I'm going to update that. Charles Leclerc leads, but Josh plays down the pits. We had to wait for that because everything changed. First of all, Drew says, is Seb helping to put the fire out? No, he hasn't. Seb is, I think he's left. Leclerc, you're my red flag. Did that say something or other?
Yeah.
And Perez first, Red Bull. Yep, it looks like it is. Perez always taking 8/10 to George. Perez now going to have to try and catch up Leclerc. We're going to throw it out to our pit reporter, Josh Place. He's got news from race control.
Yeah, turn 1 incident involving car 18 Stroll for weaving on the straight.
A what penalty? Under investigation, or is it a penalty?
Under investigation.
Under investigation.
Noted.
Right, noted. Thank you.
Which usually means in that situation that if you do it again,
you get a big penalty. Yeah.
Definitely want to stay out because I guess we know Fernando's probably gonna box. I'm guessing. But I guess we have another set of hards, so...
That was Lando.
Yeah,
he does have another set of hards.
I'm happy to stay out. The tyres are still good condition, so...
We would lose too many positions, Lando.
Yeah, because look, this is all chaining up as well. And that's Bottas with Schumacher. And here comes the ever fast-charging Fernando Alonso, who's going for more risks as well. He tried the inside when he was too far back in turn 3. Fernando is going to start a charge. And there is no car in between him, I don't think. With 18 laps to go, this could be a fantastic race for Fernando.
this could be genius, actually. This could lead to a podium.
Oh, please let Fernando get a podium. And this is Valtteri Bottas when the green flag went out. Has he made a mistake at turn 3? Turns in low. He got forced off by one of the... Well, Lance Stroll, the only one left. Well, to be fair, if a driver's forcing another one off the track, it's going to be Lance Stroll, isn't it?
Stroll made me to go off the track. Just the revealing overtake. Understood.
Well, Stroll went through.
Is it a driver turning another... Is it... which driver is it forcing another driver off the track? Oh, it's Lance Stroll. Of course it is.
Schumacher's on 26 lap pole tyres.
Alonso's past Joe.
Stroll made me to go off the track. Just the revealing overtake.
He's the next victim of Alonso's strategy.
And Gasly, we're now with the DRS trying to come through. Alonso stuck behind Schumacher. That's a problem. Everyone's on hard tyres in front of Alonso, but the gap is coming too much. Perez radio.
What was the problem with Max? Yeah, don't worry about Max. Not relevant for our car.
Oh, so that was the oil issue then, I presume, and it was an oil fire probably. That was what they were worried about in the pre-show.
Alex Albon is on 41 lap old tyres.
My goodness! Has he not stopped? Has Albon not stopped today?
Not according to the
No, you're right. Albon has not stopped. He is not. He's done 42 laps on these tyres. You are completely right. I can see it here on the pits. He's not stopped at all. Wow. That's look, there's the confirmation. It's on the screens now. Is DRS enabled? Yes.
Yeah, don't worry about Max. Not relevant for our car.
Yes, the DRS is enabled, Em. So we are now back up to full speed running.
FIA stewards.
Go on.
Turn 3 incident involving cars 18, Stroll and 77. Bottas noted for forcing another driver off the track, and just in FIA stewards 5-second time penalty for Stroll for weaving on the straight.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think Stroll needs to get out of Formula 1 as well. To be fair, he's a ridiculous driver this weekend. He's caused too many accidents as well. And to be fair, Lance is a paid driver, and there's not many of them left in Formula 1 anymore. Just Latifi and himself.
He's a paid driver that's won championships in the lower formulas.
But he's hopeless in Formula 1.
Well, only this year. He hasn't got used to these cars yet.
He's taken, what, 3 podiums in his career? Hang on, where is he? On my driver tracker here.
Yeah, but there's quite a few drivers that never get a podium in their career.
That's a fair point, but he locked into a couple of them.
He is a paid driver, but he's a paid driver with talent.
Sadly, he just lacks self-awareness. He lacks self-awareness mainly as well. 15 laps to go. It's your magic number. It came 5 laps earlier, though.
And you say that, but, he's not likely to get sacked, is he? Considering
His
that his dad owns the company.
I know. We can only dream. Anyway, I know.
Well, it's the head of the consortium anyway.
No, Matt White might agree with that one. And this is it, look. I said it, actually. Do you remember I said it? I thought he was moving more than once to defend from Bottas. Now, that's bad from Stroll. Weaving on the straight, and that's why he's got that 5-second time penalty.
You can see why Mercedes hummed and hawed over putting George into the seat because of the fact that Bottas is proving that his driving skills are immense.
Yeah, they really are.
Out of all the people that's not a world champion,
we've got
that have been in it a long time.
Turn 3.
I think he's the lazy of the present day.
Yeah, let me race. Yeah.
Gasly wants to race, and that's why Gasly's going to try and have a move on. Is it Stroll? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is Stroll. The turn 3 incident involving Stroll and Bottas has been reviewed. No further action for forcing another driver off the track. Are the stewards blind? Where's the consistency in that? I suppose they have just given him a 5-second penalty. So they can't just keep giving him penalties because it'll be a black flag next, wouldn't it? Because that'll be his 2nd penalty of the race, 3rd of the weekend, which is akin to a black flag. So they can't just really kick him out of the race. So I suppose that's why they've had to say no further action. Along the side, the lake then here at Albert Park. And it looks absolutely fantastic, this one, doesn't it? This is brilliant racing here today in Albert Park as well.
Where was that race that
Oh, and that's... Oh, come on, Lance, you muppet. You just break... Now, that is something that Max Verstappen used to do, and you're not allowed to do it. Lance Stroll just moved to defend in the braking zone.
Caution, Lance, no weaving when defending.
Yeah, he's just done it again. He's just done it again. So Stroll just moved in the braking zone to defend from Gasly. That's not allowed.
That's got to be a slam dunk now.
It's got to be a black flag. Let's see it. So Gasly has the DRS. Stroll goes defensive and moves back again to defend from Gasly. That's not allowed. Stroll's breaking every single rule in the book, and the FIA just letting him get away with it. Down to the DRS zone once again. Gasly moves to the outside line. Stroll going to go with him side by side. Stroll goes deep. Gasly tries to cut back, and Stroll just doesn't go on the accelerator out of turn 3 at all. And that's bad for him because it's going to bunch this field up, and it's going to put Gasly in a much better position coming into turn 7. And Stroll's really beginning to feel the pressure now, isn't he?
Max Verstappen, your 15 laps to go theory was true for me.
Yes, he's out of the race as long as he comes through. And this is the Haas of Schumacher.
Turn 1, minimum speed.
Oh, brilliant!
Turn 9, minimum speed, turn 12 and 14.
Just a joke.
Rest is okay.
I thought that was going to be a great move then from Bottas around the outside at turn 11.
Bottas isn't like, when he was at Williams, he would have gone there.
Yeah.
But he's a much better driver now than before. And, he's one of the most technically minded drivers as well.
Of this generation,
and mechanically technical minded drivers. He knows when he's in a debriefing, right? He really knows what he's talking about.
Gasly went defensive
he
there.
He knows how to get the most out of that car as well.
Yeah.
And that is the skill of his not only driving, but his knowledge. He knows what it means by torque and grunt and, he's a much better driver. He really is one of the most improved drivers on that field.
Stroll ahead has a 5-second penalty.
This is good news for Alonso as we take a replay. This is Fernando getting through on Mick Schumacher on the battle. Oh, it was a lock-up. And that forced Schumacher wide, and Alonso took full advantage of that. Alonso to 12th. M says as well, Alonso, come on, mate, as well. And this is Magnussen passing Tsunoda. Chunkiest Hams, welcome back, says, I admire that Stroll Sr. has stumped up big cash for that team and F1 generally, but as a person, I've never warmed to him, and he comes across as a total ... And Stroll Jr. has inherited those qualities and also has a punchable face. An opinion? I must admit...
So, the love affair between Chunkiest Ham and the Stroll family is...
Yeah. I must admit, though, every time I hear Stroll on the radio, he's like, what on earth was he doing, man? Come on, man, as well. He's like, come on.
Do you know what? He's forgot everything Anne taught him.
Yeah, he has, about how to be diplomatic.
We'll let you in on that. And
oh, hang on, Stroll going defensive again. Gasly's going to hold it round the outside to one. Brakes too late, though. It's going to be another DRS zone on the run down towards turn 3. This time, Stroll's way too late on the brakes. Gasly looks to the outside, switches back to the inside. Stroll's kept his car directly in the middle of the track, and that's putting now with Bottas to come into the battle. Wow!
Yeah, and he's been in Formula One for as long as Bernie. Longer. And when Lance first came in, Claire poached Anne to look after him. She's the elderly, but not too old.
Yeah, mother hen
of Formula One, and there is a lady at I'm trying to think of her name at Ferrari, who's been there equally as long. You know,
I know who you mean.
A dark-haired, long dark hair.
Sylvia, isn't it?
Sylvia.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, and they've been there, done that, know how to handle people. And when Lance first started, right, he was like in awe of her, like you would a strict teacher.
Let's go for the fastest lap at the end.
Got it at the end.
He wants maximum points. He's already got it, Leclerc. Still has that fastest lap as it comes through. But yeah, and
I was
taught him
just
everything.
thinking that.
Yeah, he's already got it.
Because it's got a 14-second gap.
I think he's just being a bit cheeky, is Leclerc.
Yeah.
He wants everything at the moment. But yeah, definitely Stroll has forgotten everything that Anne taught him as well, how to be kind to the media and how to be self-assertive to yourself as well. And he's become a bit arrogant in the last couple of years.
To concentrate on your own race rather than your image.
10 to go. And this is the battle for
But the kid has talent.
Yeah.
You know, he is a paid driver, but he has talent.
Lap. So Perez lap time 22.1.
Leclerc's just been told, at the moment you have the fastest lap. Reminder, if you're a Sky Q or Sky Glass customer, you can watch highlights of the race alongside the live action by pressing the red button. Something that we will be able to do in Miami when Sky Q comes up to the box instead of Virgin Media.
And another little secret about Lance, right, is that how his dad realised that he was into Formula One like his dad was the fact that he used to come home and find that little scratch marks on some of his more expensive cars. And that's because when his dad was out away and Lance would go into the garage, get the Ferrari or something like that, or a Mustang, and go out and into they had a very large driveway and just race it around the driveway.
Here we go again then, down throughout the field as well. Bottas trying to make the move.
Gasly.
I mean, I don't get it. Why he don't overtake?
Because he can't, Fernando. He can't. He really can't.
Everything. Push now. Everything you got, mate.
That's from Stroll. Stroll being told to push now. Only 9 laps to go in this race as well here in Albert Park. And fastest lap to Leclerc, a 1:20.996.
And we usually speak out about Lewis or, you know, as a Brit and George and Lando. But Alex is in 7th place in a Williams.
Gasly and Bottas both have the DRS. Stroll don't. I wonder if that's going to give something down in towards turn 11. Can't find the manoeuvre. No, it didn't work out that time as well. What a dramatic race this is turning out to be in every turn of the book as well. These new regulations definitely have worked if it can make Albert Park exciting.
One more lap, and Alex has done 50 laps on this.
I've just
on this time.
Everything you got, mate.
I've just been reminded as well. Remember, Stroll only pitted once. He's on really old hard tyres, remember, because he did that strategy at the beginning of the race. As Gasly moves to the outside line, forces Stroll to go very defensive into 1. Gasly goes round the outside and Gasly goes to 9th. But now Stroll's got the DRS, but he's on old tyres. He's going to have to defend from Valtteri Bottas, who tries to pull round the outside towards turn number 3.
No,
Late to the brakes. No, he's got it.
Stroll has pitted quite a few times.
Has he? No. Remember, at the start of the race, he came into the pits with the safety car, changed over.
He's on 30-lap old tyres.
Yeah, hard tyres as well. And remember, because he came in, took off the hards, put the mediums on, then came back in the next lap and put the hards on. So this is Stroll's strategy to try and get points, and it's failing at the moment. Go on, Josh.
The Albon will pit and put on the softs, and M has just brought it up.
Oh. Oh, and that's Bottas trying to get through on Stroll again, down to 10-12.
Was it Gasly who did the record number of laps?
You're faster than the guys in front. Keep pushing now for points.
And Zhou, and Bottas looking to the inside. Yeah, Albon did the record number of laps. It was 56 laps. No, Ocon did 56 laps in Portugal in 2020.
Well, Alex is quite close to that.
Albon could. Oh, and Perez has gone off. Perez off at turn 13. So the penultimate corner where David Coulthard went off on the restart in 2003. So Perez ran wide, and now the gap is 20 seconds to Leclerc. And Schumacher's gone for a trip through the grass at turn 1 and has lost a position to his teammate Magnussen.
Surely, because I doubt Alex will pit now. He will break that record by the end of the race.
Well, he has to pit, remember, otherwise you get a penalty. He has to pit to put on a difference. He must run 2 tyre compounds in one race.
Yeah, but do you think they'll do 57 laps?
Yeah.
Just to beat the record? Where will that drop into?
Mode 7. Mode 7. Bring it to the flag.
Out the points.
Yeah.
Ocon, low 23. But we need to look after the front left.
Magnussen off at turn 2. Magnussen's gone off at turn 2. Turn 1. No, turn 13. Oh, hang on. And Perez off at turn 13. So I think our driver track is either A, behind, or B, not keeping up with race control messages at the moment. I think the Wi-Fi is lagging. Do we not have 500 megabyte speeds at the moment?
No.
It explains a lot, doesn't it?
We're meant to have up to 900, and last night it was 80.
Oh, my. That's insane.
Yeah.
We will have
we're
a
going.
soon, yeah.
That's why we didn't want to stay with, we don't get the ultra fast for Sky. That's why we have to keep with VM.
Alonso is going defensive to Zhou, so Guan Yu Zhou makes the move. Alonso's to her medium compound tyres are starting to struggle, so Alonso's going to remain out of the points. Not looking great there at the moment, is it? As they come through, is Albon staying out? Well, he might go to lap 57 at least. Alonso now gets back. Alonso must have a problem. Alonso, although he's going to try and have a go back at Schumacher around the outside. Alonso versus Schumacher. I haven't said that for a year. And Schumacher again forcing him off. Like father, like son. He got taught that, didn't he? Watching back when hard to find Alonso. That was weird. It must be weird for Fernando racing the likes of Verstappen and Schumacher when they were racing. He was racing their fathers. That was beautiful.
We do miss Michael.
He's 40.
Can you imagine how?
Alonso's 40, yeah.
You imagine how Michael, what Michael would. We know that when Mick crashed, that Michael squeezed his brother's hand.
Yes, yeah.
So we know his mind is still as active and. It's such a shame.
We don't know too much about Michael, but the little bits we hear as well, there's always positive news of recovery, and it's not going to be completely recovered, but as long as he can see his son's achievements in Formula 1, I suppose, is going to be a good thing, because it was his life.
And his uncle is back at the race.
Schumacher's passed Alonso. Sorry,
he works for one of the German companies, doesn't
he? Sky Sport, yeah.
Sky Sports Germany.
And Schumacher's passed Alonso into 14th place. So if Michael's watching this in his home in Switzerland, he must have hopefully a smile on his face there.
Can we go for the fastest lap now before traffic?
You've got it!
No, negative. We have the fastest lap, and we don't think anyone can beat it.
Okay.
Okay, but okay. Leclerc really wants maximum points.
Can we go for the fastest lap?
We just said that. He really wants maximum points, doesn't he? He's got
the 20-second gap.
Oh yeah. To be fair, I think you can go for it if you want, but no one's going to beat it. Everyone's on old hard tyres. No one's beating that lap time from Leclerc at all. So it's pretty much you're safe. What an Australian Grand Prix! It's going to put Leclerc on the podium with Perez
FIA
and Russell.
stewards.
Go on.
Turn 4 incident involving cars 14. Alonso and 20. Magnussen noted for forcing another driver off the track.
Oh. Oh, no. Don't give Alonso or Magnussen a penalty, please. That's not what we need in this race. But they've done worse already this weekend. Hamilton Radio.
You guys put me in a really difficult position.
Oh, shut up. Into
Leave
the
him
pits.
alone.
Alonso pits and puts on a new set of medium compound tyres. That's an interesting call. He's going for fastest lap, maybe.
Lewis's mind is ticking over, and he's worked out what's happening.
Yeah.
And the strategy calls from Mercedes, even when they have had the grunt, have been a bit suspect.
Yeah, I just like to point out, I know what Lewis is thinking. He's thinking, Russell's on the podium, I'm behind him, team orders, please. But it's too early. If Lewis gets team orders there, he's a selfish baby. I'm sorry, but it's race 3 of the season. In a car that's underperforming. If Russell gets a chance for a podium, he takes it.
Lewis would be proud that George
he just said over the
gets
radio, you're
podium.
putting me in a really difficult position. And that's because there's a podium
Yeah,
just
because
in front of him.
Lando's right behind him.
No, he's not. Lando is 20
There's two
seconds.
ways of looking at that.
Lando is 18 seconds behind Lewis. The gap between Russell and Lewis is 1.9 seconds. Lewis is saying on the radio, basically, give me the podium. Tell George to pull over. George, for your Formula 1 career, don't pull over. Stay where you are. Don't move. I'm not even joking. I think the entire F1 community will agree with you there. If Russell pulls over and lets Lewis through, that's his Formula 1 chance of a World Championship gone right now.
Toto's never going to do that.
Really?
The fact that... no, I don't believe Toto's... what's the one thing...
Don't do that, for God's sake. We've got the TV stand that can fall off.
What is the one thing that
Just ban the
Toto's image in that is total fairness?
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
That's how Mercedes operate their entire thing. Whether you are the guy that sweeps the floor, right? Or you're the guy that's driving.
Russia.
No.
Russia 2019.
I disagree. Toto wouldn't do that.
He's never told Valtteri to give a position up to Lewis.
No, I'm not saying that. It's all about fairness within the team at this stage in the season, right? Russell could be world champion if he's got the talent.
Yeah.
Toto's not going to make that sort of call now, no matter what
really
Lewis
hope.
says.
I really hope as well. Chunkiest Time says Lewis has a chance to win a championship for the 8th time. George doesn't. No, but George has a chance to win the
George has a
title.
championship
FIA stewards.
for the first
2
time.
seconds, Josh. Yeah, George has a big chance to win the title. He's such a fast driver.
Also, Toto's not going to risk the fact that they are running 3rd and 4th.
Good
right?
point to the constructors. Keeps them ahead.
People gave them no chance.
Yeah.
And they're running 3rd and 4th.
This will keep them ahead of the Constructors' Championship. There's only 1 point between Mercedes and Red Bull in the Constructors anyway.
And if that Red Bull of Perez goes bang, they're both on the podium.
Yeah, so everyone's now keeping an eye on what's happening. It's
In
2
fact,
to go, but
in fact,
go on.
the sister cars of both the 1st and 2nd, right, the Ferrari and the Red Bull are out, right? So,
Yes.
It's anything could happen.
Hang on, Albon tyres. He still hasn't come into the pits. Is Albon doing the whole race and just going to take the penalty? He has not pitted. No, he hasn't. Albon has not pitted. He's stayed out there
We
for
haven't
57
changed that
laps.
rule, have we?
No, it's the same rule. Drew, you are completely right. As the two Haas cars go side by side, Magnussen gets passed by Schumacher.
He could do it on the last lap.
I'd just like to point out, we measure this, by the way, on kilometres. Each Formula 1 race runs for 300...
Michael.
Each Formula 1 race runs for 308 kilometres. Ergo, 56 laps is the same distance as it would be in another circuit. So Alexander Albon, by doing 57 laps on those hard compound tyres, has done 300 kilometres on one set of tyres and now takes the official world record for longest kilometres on a Pirelli tyre.
And, right, do a Michael.
Yeah.
Come in.
On the last lap.
On the last lap.
There he is, look. 56 laps on the C2. Well done, Alex. You've got the record. You've got the record. It's the last lap of the race, by the way.
If he's done 56 laps, then he must have been into the pits at the first.
No, he's a lap down. Is he? No, he's not a lap down. 57. What? Perez radio?
He has changed.
You would feel that way?
Is he?
Still going.
Start of the race.
No, he hasn't.
Must have done.
No, he hasn't.
No, let me have the tyre thing
Look,
up.
it's here. Look.
Yeah,
Here.
it's only...
56.
Albon
Here,
pits. Albon pits.
And there we go. He's got the record.
last lap.
He's got the record. But for Charles Leclerc, who won in Bahrain, in fact, I've got all 3 of his race wins in front of me because that's all he's ever done. Race victory, his first one back in Italy in his first win for Charles Leclerc back in Spa 2019. His second win at Monza. His third win in Bahrain, and now here for the first time, Ferrari will win for the first time in 5 years. Charles Leclerc says hello to the competition. 2 out of 3 victories. Leclerc wins the Australian Grand Prix and extends a massive lead in the Drivers' Championship for 2022. What a race. Second place will go to Sergio Perez, who has done a master drive today. Really good on the strategy. And George Russell will get his second ever Formula One podium and his first podium for Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton finishes 4th as well.
And Albon gets a point.
And the 2 McLarens are going to come home 5th and 6th. Ricciardo gets points. Norris gets points. It's a good day to be an Aussie fan. McLaren fans go wild. Australian fans go wild. Lando Norris is 5th. Daniel Ricciardo 6th. And they go side by side across the line. What a race for McLaren. They're back. But Verstappen suffers. Leclerc is fantastically free at the front.
9. And P1.
Yes! Let's go, come on, yes!
And the fastest lap.
I wanted to do
And Alexander Albon gets a World Championship point!
Oh, amazing. The car was incredible today, really. Well done, guys.
Which, as we know, is so important.
What a pace,
Constructors' Championship, Aston Martin, 0 points. Still 0 points. Williams go to 9th place in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren jump up massively. Leclerc is the driver of the day. He got the fastest lap on the last lap of 1:22.60.
Ignoring what they told him.
He got the DRS down the start-finish straight, didn't he, on the lap cars? But look at that. A brilliant strategy as well. As so says as well, M, who says Williams going to get a point. What a strategy from Williams. Alexander Albon, over 300 kilometres, 57 lap on 1 tyres. You're absolutely right. They did a Schumacher, came in on the last lap.
And a Zhou.
Yeah, and a Zhou. Changed
right,
tyres.
Joe did that to win the race
in Formula 2.
Formula 2.
Perez.
Goes for Rocky and Jeff. Good start to our season, but a lot of work to do still.
Yeah, well done. Check it out. It's a solid weekend for you. Well done. It's a good drive today.
Yeah, Rocky.
Seems like the Red Bull pit wall this
Can
weekend.
I?
It's been very... Yeah, you can go. What a
right,
race.
Driver of the day.
Go on.
Right, driver of the day, George Russell.
Absolutely agree. And he's on the podium as well in 3rd. Thanks, Dad. You may disappear now from the commentary box. Just make sure you get up okay, because I know your legs go a bit dizzy every now and then as you go through. See you later.
Dismissed.
As he said see you later as well to you, Josh, as well in the pits.
Bye.
Josh Plays will now stay with me up here in the comms box as we come through. George
Day
Russell.
in the life of a person who watches motorsport.
Yeah. A bit fortunate there, but part of the game. Let's chase some more podiums now.
Let's get some more podiums now, they say as well. Drew says as well, thanks, you guys did a great job. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to everyone listening in as well on USRN. We'll be with you as well in Imola in 2 weeks' time, and then again the following week. Where's the next race? It will be...
Imola.
Yeah, Imola. We'll be with you in Imola again in 2 weeks' time. Matthew and Matt will take you through Miami, and then we'll be back for Spain at least, I believe, as well in May on USRN. You can watch them all here as well on YouTube on our commentary feed as well as they come through. Charles Leclerc, more podium. I wanted more. Checo world champion, question mark? Well, it could be as well. Double yellow.
This is not a day in a life of a person who watches motorsport. on my big screen I've got Formula 1, and on my second screen I've got FP3 of Formula E.
How's it going out there, by the way?
Just a couple of brief yellows, 25 minutes remaining. So I was worried that the race, the Formula 1 and Formula E was going to overlap, but it only overlapped by 2 minutes.
Not bad.
So as soon as the checkered flag fell, race control messages went straight over to Formula E.
Ah, that's fantastic news. I was very worried as well. I can't commentate on that practice session of FP3, so I'm only doing qualifying this weekend. So qualifying's coming up, I think, 9:30, I think, UK time for Formula E.
Thanks, yeah.
And so that gives me like 2 hours or so to have a bath, have some breakfast, and get back in here and do the next part of the race. And of course, got MotoGP later on today. You can
What
watch
time's the
that.
review show? 8:30.
Yeah, I'm just doing that one. I'm just quickly run through everything, so you can have some morning time as well before everything else kicks off. Because I've got it's a very quick show because it's only going to be a couple of minutes because I've got everything to do. And in fact, the review show might be a bit early actually, considering that the podium's not going to take that long to complete. As well, we're going to keep all the data up on as well. I see the YouTube chat coming in. IndyCar Long Beach Grand Prix in maybe 15 hours. By the way, yeah, we are commentating on IndyCar this weekend. I know the streams aren't up because YouTube wouldn't let me put more than 6 streams up for some reason. So they're going up today. We will be covering, if you're joining us, we'll be covering the MotoGP race as well. We'll be covering that here today. We will also be covering the IndyCar Grand Prix at Long Beach, and we will be covering the Formula E race in Rome as well. Edward Hunter joins me for Rome for Formula E, and Megan Birch will be back in the box for MotoGP at COTA and Long Beach as well. And Josh Plays will be hanging around in the background in the Discord with the race control as well, and we'll even hopefully have him up on the screen for at least IndyCar.
Yellow flag. Red flag in the Formula E, red flag.
What's happened there? In the
No
Formula E?
idea, it's just popped up. Do you want me on the main broadcast for IndyCar?
I will have you around, yeah,
Okay.
in the pits, like we did for today with Formula 1.
Oh, I've just pressed the green flag, not the red flag.
There was.
Behind, that is Oliver Askew, who stopped out on track.
Not again. Askew stopped yesterday as well. And Grosjean in Q2. Oh, really? Oh, great. Right,
Oh, Mark Webber.
Yeah, Mark Webber then is going to do the post-race interviews, and he'll speak to Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and George Russell as well. What a day. So it's down then to Mark Webber, and first of all, to George Russell.
It's down in Park Ferme.
Well, George Russell, a fantastic podium performance, mate. A little bit lucky with the safety car, but ultimately, mate, you drove an extraordinary race. You must be stoked with the performance of the car today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got to be in it to win it and capitalise from others' misfortune. And obviously, we got a little bit lucky today, probably twice. But, we take it. And there's so much hard work going on back at base, Brackley and Brixworth to try and get us back to the front. So, to be standing on the podium is special.
I saw you off camera just here, going to your team, going to the mechanics. It just means so much to you guys, given the start that you've had and the high standards that Mercedes and the organisation has. Must be, to get a podium for yourself. Lewis has had one in Bahrain. You're always there. You never give the opposition a free pass, do you?
No, we're never going to give up. We got to keep on fighting. And this weekend we was a long way behind our rivals, but here we are standing on the podium. So, we've got to keep this up while we're on the back foot, and I'm sure we'll get there after a few more races.
Looking forward to the next one, buddy. What do you think there? We're getting back to Europe, upgrades?
I think it's going to take some time until we can fight these boys in red and blue. They look pretty exceptional at the moment, but if anyone can, Mercedes can, so let's go for it.
Well done, George. Good job. Sergio, great drive, mate. I think you got everything out of the car today. You did what you could. The start looked a little bit tricky down into turn one. Run us through that first of all.
Yeah, that was a bit tricky, getting my position. Lewis overtook me down the inside. He broke really late. He had a really good turn one, and after that it was about getting him, then the virtual safety car and so on. My first thing was very poor in terms of degradation. We struggled quite a lot. Then on the hard, with the safety car, we were a bit unlucky there. We lost 2 positions, which we recovered later. It's a good result, but unfortunately we lost Max. It would have been great to have a double podium for the team. But looking forward, we've been a bit too unlucky in the first 2 races.
Absolutely. Run us through that move with Lewis around the outside into the fast chicane. It looked like, it was a phenomenal move, and then on the safety car sort of helped him from the fight back with you on the run down to turn 11.
Yeah, always with Lewis. He's very determined. Very hard racer, but very fair. And we always have good fun together.
Well, John, enjoy your flight back to Mexico tonight, mate. And here's the man of the moment, my God. driver of the day, fastest lap. Mate, you were on another level today. Record crowd here in Australia. It was a phenomenal turnout to see your performance today. Your 4th Grand Prix victory. Was that the easiest win of your career so far, mate?
In Formula One, is the first one where we control a little bit the gap. And honestly, what a car today. I mean, yeah, of course, I did a good job all weekend, but it was not possible without the car. And this weekend, especially in the race pace, we were extremely strong. Tyre felt great from the first lap to the last lap. We were managing the tyres extremely well, and I'm just so happy.
Yeah, well done, mate. Run us through those restarts because you had to deal with 2 of those. A little bit nerve-wracking on the front straight with the restarts, making sure that you didn't have to deal with Max, on the brakes for turn 1 or turn 3.
It was very difficult, especially the safety car restart. I had a huge understeer into the last corner, and I was like, whoa, it's going to be difficult to keep that first position. But then, then we managed to do so. And after the first 2-3 corners, I managed to regain the grip, and then the pace was back. So incredible to win here.
Just one last one. I heard on the radio on the in-lap, I'm starting to sense a little bit of belief here. You know, this momentum, the car's been very strong on all types of circuits now. You must be looking forward to getting back to Europe and see if this momentum can really start to put a huge campaign to fight against everyone that can, throw the battle against you guys.
Yeah, well, obviously we're only at the 3rd race, so it's difficult to think about the championship. But to be honest, we've got a very strong car, a very reliable car too, and for now we've always been there. So I hope it continues like this, and if it does, then we probably have chances for the championship, which obviously makes me smile after the last 2 years that have been difficult for the team and obviously for myself. So it's great to be back in this position.
A lot of Italian fans here in Melbourne. Go and enjoy the podium. Well done.
Podium ceremony will be coming up shortly as well here on USRN and on the YouTube chat as well. I apologise if we are off air on YouTube, but I don't think we are because I can't actually see the stream back for some reason because something something has gone wrong with the replay signal we get because it has completely disappeared. So I've got no idea what's going on anymore. So I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. Right,
look at all of the fans.
Here's the race results then from the Australian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc takes his 4th ever victory. Sergio Perez is 2nd and George Russell is 3rd. A 1, 2, 3 of different constructors. Lewis Hamilton is 4th. Lando Norris an amazing 5th for Mercedes and McLaren as well. McLaren Mercedes with Danny Ricciardo, homeboy in P6. Esteban Ocon is 7th. Valtteri Bottas 8th. Pierre Gasly 9th. And 10th on the board going for Alexander Albon. Williams getting a point with an amazing pit stop strategy. Zhou Guanyu is in 11th with Lance Stroll in 12th. Mick Schumacher is 13th. Kevin Magnussen 14th. Yuki Tsunoda 15th. Nicholas Latifi 16th. Fernando Alonso 17th. Max Verstappen 18th. Sebastian Vettel 19th. And Carlos Sainz going in 20th position. And that is the full result as well. Verstappen, Vettel and Sainz, the 3 retirements from this Grand Prix. Alonso ended 17th. As well, the alternate strategy really didn't work. 120,000 Australian fans, over 400,000 of them have been here across the 4-day event. And now they are all packing in to the start-finish straight. The largest crowd in Australia since the pandemic began. And it's time for the podium. I always remember how small the Australian podium really is compared to normal as well. And it really does look it, doesn't it, Josh?
Yeah, indeed. Just comparing it to the size of Saudi.
Yeah, massively different. George Russell, his 2nd ever podium in Formula One, comes on to the podium. His last one was Spa, of course, the Belgian Grand Prix back in 2021. Sergio Perez, his 16th podium in Formula One as well. For Charles Leclerc, his 4th ever win, his 7th fastest lap, his 16th podium as well. We will hear, once again, the Monegasque national anthem. But, thanks to YouTube rules, we have to talk over it. But, always nice to hear the Monaco national anthem and being played out as well for Charles Leclerc. This is beginning to look like his season and Ferrari's season to take a world championship. It's always the question we want to know. Is it possible? Can it be possible? We are about to find out. An amazing opportunity there. The Ferrari flags And the Italian flag's coming out. It is Ferrari's 239th Grand Prix victory, their 254th fastest lap, their 773rd career podium. It's going to mean an awful lot to the Maranello team. After so many years of waiting, so many years of misery, they put all their eggs into this year's car, and it really has paid off. Ferrari, genuine title contenders, they extend their lead to the Constructors' Championship, and Charles Leclerc, with neither Sainz or Verstappen finishing, he extends his the Italian national anthem. How can you not, Josh Plays? How can you not like the Italian national anthem?
Yeah, how can you not?
Charles Leclerc gets the Sir Jack Brabham trophy and lifts it as high as it can be as they come through. The second place trophy, Andrew Westcott as well, the CEO of the Australian Grand Prix. And that is not Andrew Westcott, obviously. This is the Constructors' Trophy for Ferrari. It's Forza Ferrari, it's Forza Charles Leclerc as they come forward. Now, Andrew Westcott will present Sergio Perez with his trophy, the CEO of the Australian Grand Prix Corporation. And now, George Russell will get his second ever trophy in Formula One, as Andrew Fraser, the president for Motorsport Australia, we heard from him on Thursday in our Grand Prix preview show. He's playing that fantastic music. And now, at your feet, it's champagne time! Away goes the champagne, away goes years of miseries as well for this Ferrari team. They really are getting back into the spirit of things. They can't wait for what's coming next. We can't wait for what's coming next as well. We're trying to play the music, but it's not letting us at the moment. The confetti flies. The photos will be taken. And now we can finally play the music as well. What a race. Josh Plays alongside me in the commentary box still to wrap up. Josh, can I have, please, your driver of the day?
Leclerc and Russell.
Absolutely.
And I was just looking.
Yeah.
Watson, the Ferrari. Verstappen, are we going to that?
We'll have a quick word with Verstappen, yes.
Tell you that. How important do you think these are going to be in the context of things when this season's got a battle like this?
Well, we're already miles behind, so I don't even want to think about a championship fight at the moment. I think it's more important to finish races. I mean, of course, today was in general just a bad day again. Just not really having the pace. I was just managing my tires to try and just bring it to the end, because it looked like quite a easy P2 anyway, and I knew I could not fight Charles, so there was no point to try and put pressure on him. But yeah, we didn't even finish the race, so it's pretty frustrating and unacceptable.
Was the issue the same thing they were looking at this morning, and there was some attention to your car on the grid as well? Is it something you've been working with?
I mean, I knew there was a problem, so it was always going to be a question mark of finishing the race, but I mean, these kind of things, if you want to fight for the title, cannot happen.
Is it anything that's happened before? Is it going to be an
I
ongoing?
don't know.
You don't know.
No, I
It's
mean,
something
they
that
had to
happened
stop
here.
the car, but they have to get the car back and investigate.
All right.
Thanks, Max. To answer Drew's question here, Mercedes close to Red Bull in the Constructors. Mercedes are second in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull are third. So they've completely overtaken them with Red Bull's unreliability. Mercedes may be slow, but they are reliable. That is the question we're seeing here at the moment. Okay, time to wrap up then the race show here on USRN and over on YouTube. You can join us on YouTube as well. Joshua Birch, Motorsport Journalist, for the wrap-up show. I'll be going through very quickly the race results as well. As Josh Plays is going to go get some breakfast. I'm going to go and get ready for the show and then do that quickly. And then we'll bang on for Formula E, MotoGP and IndyCar as well. Let's get ready to rumble. It's a busy Sunday here as well on the YouTube channel. And over on USRN as well. You can join as well. Many, many exciting upcoming programs as well. My thanks to Seth, who's been in the comments as well throughout, keeping us updated. My thanks to you too, Josh. It's been an exciting race. We'll see you later on as well. Cheers for getting up early as well. And if you have stayed up or woken up or it's finally a time for reasonable race time, thank you very much for joining us here on YouTube. We appreciate it so much. And as well, thanks to all our viewers and listeners on USRN. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time when Formula One returns to Imola. Bye for now.